RFS in the Europa Conference League with Alan Preston, Craig Levein and Stuart Mitchell.
Thanks, Kenny. Another European night under the lights at Tynecastle. Fiorentina were 2-1 winners in the early Group A Europa Conference League kick-off, which means that Heart of Midlothian cannot qualify. There is an opportunity for Hearts, though, to build on a battling performance from Saturday against Celtic, deliver a European victory at home, which would also bring a financial reward and start to turn their form. The teams are lined up just across from our position, which is opposite the two technical areas for the Sports Sound coverage this evening. Hearts wearing their traditional home colours of the full maroon jerseys with the maroon shorts and the maroon socks with the white stripe just going around at the back of the calf. And RFS are in their change kits of the all-white tonight. They normally play in the blue as they did in Riga last month, and they will run off from the team lineups to a little cluster of about 50 fans who are wearing the blue and white colours of theirs over to the left in the normal away section at Tynecastle. So a scattering of them have travelled from the Latvian capital, others from around the Scottish capital, Edinburgh, here to see and represent the flags of Latvian football this evening. From Riga, they also cannot qualify, but they're looking to represent their country and gain some revenge from that 2-0 defeat in September at the Skonto Stadium. But it's Tynecastle tonight. The lights have been on bright since we arrived, and flashing with the music loud. Some supporters not affected by the earlier result between Fiorentina and Istanbul Başakşehir here, and they want to help drive their side on to a victory tonight at Tynecastle. And like I said, I want to see a group victory, a goal scored at home as well in the group stages of the Europa Conference League. The two captains, Tomas Simkovic of the away side and Craig Gordon, the tall figure between the two captains in the full yellow goalkeeper kit, just do the handshakes with the officials. Tonight's match referee is Bram van der Rijs. It's a full Belgium officiating team, and Hearts are set to go from right to left against the side that won the First Liga last season and originally started in the Champions League qualifiers. Defeat to HJK Helsinki meant they dropped into the Europa Conference League, and after the victories against Hibernians from Malta and victory over Linfield on penalties, they became only the second Latvian club to reach European competition group stages after FK Ventspils did back in the 09-10 Europa League season. Lauren Shankland, who comes in for Stephen Humphreys, and tonight's starting lineup is about to take kick-off for Hearts. And an adequate replacement, more so than that, after his hat-trick on Saturday against Celtic in that lunchtime kick-off in what was an enthralling match. And he gets us underway. Andy Halliday has the ball, turning away from some early RFS pressure. His Hearts go from right to left as we sit in the commentary position, and they'll be shooting into the mixture of the Hearts supporters and RFS fans to our left as Lauren Shankland picks up the ball on the far right side. We'll go back to Michael Smith, who Robbie Nielsen's also very welcome to see come back into the right side of the defensive line of four tonight and give that balance. Barry Mackay tries to pierce the ball forward for Cochrane, but out it goes for the throw just in front. So Hearts lining up in that 4-1-4-1 formation that will change into the 4-3-3 when attacking. Craig Gordon in goal, Michael Smith at the right side of defence, Toby Sibbick and Stephen Kingsley the centre backs, Alex Cochrane at left back, Keogh will be the sitting midfielder with Ginnelly on the right, Grant and Halliday in the middle with Barry Mackay on the left side and Lauren Shankland up front waiting on that support from the wide areas. He has the ball from Michael Smith's throw on the far side at the moment, just over the midway point of the RFS side. Ginnelly will try and get the ball out of his right foot and get a cross in, but is blocked out for the throw-in. And Craig Levein, the Hearts supporters, loud despite the fact they cannot qualify and really want to drive the team on this evening.
Yeah, I think most of them would be coming to the match tonight knowing that the chances of qualification are very, very slim. So I think they're here just to enjoy themselves, and hopefully Hearts can put on a very aggressive and an entertaining performance for this last home game that the Hearts are probably going to play in Europe this season, or will play in Europe this season.
Very healthy support around the stands of Tynecastle, and the RFS fans are clustered into the middle in what is quite a wide area of the maroon seats to our left, but all gathered together to create some noise. And they have a throw-in over on the far side in their own half. The ball's launched forward, giving Illich something to chase. Andre Illich won't get there as Craig Gordon comes out to the far side of his penalty box to collect in that full yellow goalkeeper kit. And Andre Illich was one who was dangerous for RFS in that game in Riga as well, Alan Preston.
Yeah, he was, and they are a dangerous side. Derek touched on it pre-match there. We watched the game. The very big side, very powerful side. Just as they lose the ball, Hearts.
Simkovic has it. He's turning away from the goal he wants to attack, though, so he'll lay it off to Jata, who didn't feature against Hearts back in the Latvian capital. He'll turn back and will use the option he has in Vitalijs Jagodinskas. Now forward for the captain, Simkovic, and he gives away possession to Cochrane. Slight pass in field for Halliday as Hearts look to go short, but Cochrane now has given it away. That was Friesen Bichler, the Austrian, coming back there to intercept. He came on as a sub in that game last month. And there's certainly attacking talents in that side, as Alan just touched on, with Emerson on the far side, who'll be looking to support from the left, just as he did in that 2-0 game that Hearts won. But here, moving forward, Georgia Grant to Ginnelly, flashing the ball across to Shanklin! And Hearts have their fast start. And wouldn't you know it, it's Lawrence Shanklin continuing that form from his hat-trick at the weekend against Celtic. The RFS goalkeeper is injured, but Hearts don't care. The early start, and it's Hearts and Midlothian 1, RFS 0.
Yeah, and just as we'd hoped for Hearts, a wonderful start. The ball goes out to Ginnelly, and when Ginnelly takes his man on, great burst of pace, and the movement from Shankland in the middle was brilliant. The ball was played across the face of the goal, and he managed to divert the ball into the net with his left foot. What a great start.
That's exactly Craig. And you know what, Ginnelly was brilliant over in RFS. He was arguably the best performer on the night. I think the best performance in a Hearts jersey for him over there, and that'll bring confidence into tonight. It was really good play on the right hand side. It's a brilliant ball in, and you're right, Shanklin, he goes to go at the front and then just peels round the back of the centre half, and it's a simple tap in, although he's clattered into the goalkeeper who's down injured at the moment. But brilliant start for Hearts.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know about you, when I watch wingers, Alan, when the first time they get the ball in the match is always quite telling, because if their attitude is positive, then they just go and take people on no matter the situation, and that's exactly what Ginnelly did.
I get told, Craig, as a young player at 13, 14 at Dundee United with Jim McLean, I played wide left at the time, said, well, you take him on, just take him on. And you could tell, and he used to say to me, when you turn inside looking for help, I know you're not confident. See if you're going down the line, you are, and that's exactly what Ginnelly done there. Brilliant ball in, and it's a great finish.
There is lengthy treatment being given to Pavel Steinbors, which is something that Victor Moros, the head coach of RFS, won't want to see. He pulled off a terrific save from Josh Ginnelly, you may remember, from that game in the Latvian capital. He is the starting goalkeeper since he signed for RFS, and he's receiving some spray to the right leg. He's still down on a knee with the physio giving him attention. And Hearts players were getting some instructions from the coaching staff over at Robbie Nielsen's side in the far area of the pitch, but he'll be delighted with that start. He scored the penalty, Lawrence Shankland, last month in the 2-0 victory, and he's opened the scoring. Just held his run, moving into the 6-yard box as Ginnelly drove the ball across the face of goal. Steinbors now back on his feet, and we do have kick-off as RFS do restart us, and the ball goes back to Jata. He'll look to this near side for seconds now, and long ball will look for Illich. He does manage to get the head on that, but Sibic, keeping a close watch, doesn't allow him to return, and the ball will go through to Craig Gordon with 5 minutes on the clock. 5.5 minutes played. It's Heart of Midlothian 1, RFS 0. Lawrence Shanklin the goal scorer. Toby Sibic picks up the ball in the penalty box. Over to that far side now for Michael Smith. Ginnelly lets the ball run and goes on the roundabout run around Maresh, but the left back can't do anything, and there is covering support from Lipushek on the far side. His long ball will go again straight into the hands of Craig Gordon. Now Cochrane on the near side exchanges passes with Barry Mackay. Cochrane with the white boots has the ball on the left foot, cushions the pass back to Kingsley. He'll swipe long up towards the halfway line. Shanklin doesn't know where the header went, but it did come off his head last, and possession drops to Barry Mackay. Trying to link up with Grant on the halfway line. Out it goes, thrown just in front of our commentary position. Cochrane takes quickly, and you can hear the noise from the Hearts supporters. That's exactly what they wanted to see, and they're going on the sprint for a second through Andy Halliday. Across field, gets the ball to the far side for Ginnelly. Ball on the right foot, back in field for Halliday as a look, chips the ball in, looking for Shankland towards the penalty spot. The ball won't get there and is cleared up to the Hearts defensive line, where Toby Civic is the last man covering. He'll turn and go back to Gordon. High it goes up towards Ginnelly. It's off target. Isn't brought down by Maresh. Ginnelly can step in. Grant now has possession. He tries to move forward, but the referee, Bram Vrandriesche, the Belgian referee, will bring it back for the free kick. With 7 minutes on the clock, Hearts 1, RFS 0.
Brilliant start from Hearts, it really has. Every player looks comfortable, and I sincerely hope that Civic plays well tonight, because it's the hard time.
I was just going to mention that. You know, he tidied up nicely there, and I thought it's a good start from him. He's not had much opportunity.
Long ball from the right side. Illich brings it down. Civic's there covering, and there is the back run there, but RFS will have the corner. It was Kio Marzoglu who was making the covering run back just to try and help out the defensive line, and that will allow Hearts to just regather their defensive thoughts. The corner will be taken from the bottom right side, and it's the captain Simkovic who will take it from that corner arc. Be a right-footed outswinger, but RFS have got everyone up towards Hearts penalty area here.
It's a land of the giants. Look at the size of them.
You will want to keep an eye on Lipashek, the 6'6" blonde-haired man standing in the line of three behind the penalty spot. He'll make the run towards the back post, and it goes to the flicker. It's off Lipashek. It's cleared off the line. A combination there of Grant and Gordon, and volleyed towards goal by Maresh from the midway point of the Hearts half. But just as you said, Alan, that height causing a bit of a problem there. The ball into the 6-yard area was a good one, but nobody really attacked it defensively for Hearts.
It's difficult. You know, Kingsley's with Lipashek there. He's the one that's with him, and it's a mismatch in height. It really is. And I think Craig Gordon's made a wonderful save there.
Yeah, so it's always going to be a difficult situation, set pieces this evening.
Shanklin's in behind the RFS defence now, playing on the shoulder. Slips the ball into Ginnelly in the penalty area, tries to cut it back, but there is Panic to get it away. Stefan Panic, the midfielder, is just doing the sprinting back, and now another long ball forward, but we'll just bring you back in, Craig Levine. One thing this game has so far in the first 8 minutes is similar to the game in Riga. It's fast-paced, it's opened, and it's end-to-end already.
Yes, and I'll come back to the set pieces. I think that's one thing that Hearts have to give away very, very sparingly indeed, because there's a huge height advantage for the Latvians in that department.
Hearts have it again on that far side. Ginnelly trying to drive forward. The ball will go out for the throw. Josh Ginnelly thought there was something more in that, but one thing is, though, in the first 10 minutes he's had a similar impact that he had in the reverse fixture between these two. And it will be RFS with the throw just inside Hearts territory. Simkovic takes it on the left foot, clips the ball over looking for Emerson, but that one way too heavy, and will bounce over the byline for the Hearts goal kick with 9.5 minutes on the clock. Hearts 1, RFS 0. Lauren Shanklin with his 10th goal of the season. Michael Smith now for Hearts.
I don't think you can touch on how important Craig Gordon is to Hearts. Yeah, he's had a couple of goals that you think he would have saved in recent weeks, but he's magnificent, absolutely. And that save again, diving down to his right hand side, then getting a strong hand on it and pushing it away out the danger area.
There's been some comments about specifically the mistake against Kilmarnock, Alan, but one thing is the big moments outnumber the mistakes that Craig Gordon makes every time.
You know what, that one just I think it's the surface doesn't help as well, the conditions on the day. Craig Gordon owns Heart of Midlothian absolutely nothing.
And the thing about a top player, Alan, is that yes, he's made a mistake, and with it being Craig Gordon, it's highly unusual, so people talk about it more. But it's been able to get back on the horse the next day, isn't it? It's as simple as that. Very quickly he's back to the same very, very high standards, and that's what he's done his whole career.
Crossfield pass from Michael Smith. Kingsley steps out of defence and will go back to that top side of the pitch for Ginnelly. He'll just hold it, slows the ball down with the right-footed studs. We'll go back to Smith, who's come forward in support. Grant's there too as part of the triangle. Smith will take it back with the red boots, and right-footed pass puts Civic under a bit of pressure, but he does well to deal with it with a quick pass in field for Keogh. And now spread to this near side between Kingsley and Cochrane. Mackay comes in to assist, but Kingsley will take the ball back on that left side of the centre-back pairing. Halliday now in the position in attacking midfield. He's off for Cochrane coming down the left side. Grant's made the run to help out. Nice passing from Hearts. There's Halliday, drives the shot! And it comes off the foot of Jagodinskis and deflects into the back of the net beyond Pavel Steinborst. And with only 11 minutes on the clock at Tynecastle, it's Hearts 2, RFS 0.
Yeah, and you know, we spoke about Hearts maybe not getting a little bit of luck in certain occasions in this European campaign, but we got a little bit of luck there, shall we say. But again, it was good play leading up to it. The ball comes into the box and it deflects off a defender. And would that go down as an own goal, you think?
I think the shot's gone on target. I'm hoping that they give it to Halliday. It was a really good move down the left-hand side. And a nice run, good pass into Halliday's feet. He quickly gets the ball out his feet. And the shot, yeah, takes a deflection. Keeper goes one way, ball goes the other. And it's that bit of luck that's been deserting Hearts in recent weeks.
Like Alan says, it does go to Andy Halliday. It's his first goal of the season. The last goals that he scored were his double in the April win at home against rivals Hibs. Another one for the supporters to celebrate this evening. And Hearts are immediately going down the right side again. It's brilliant link-up between Grant and Ginnelly, driving through the centre, but Jata's there coming back with a sliding challenge, manages to hook the left foot and toes around to stop the ball. Emerson can't bring it under control inside his own half, and Hearts have it once again. Shankland wrestling away with Ripusheki, drives away from the defender, goes down under the late challenge, and the referee awards the free kick. And Tynecastle full of noise as Michael Smith tries to go quickly, but Ginnelly will be told to bring the ball back, and it will now invite the centre backs forward, and Kingsley and Civic to move forward and join Lauren Shankland in the penalty area. And Cochrane and Kingsley will now be over for the delivery. It's not far from the penalty area on that far side of the pitch, so it does look like a good one for the left footer, Stephen Kingsley. And we know what his quality's like from positions like these. And he steps off Alex Cochrane. Kingsley will step up left-footed, lays it off to Barry Mackay, central position. He strikes towards goal, but the ball always rising and goes over Pavel Steinberg's crossbar. I think Barry Mackay maybe just took a little bit of a sore one as he made a connection with the ball there. 13.5 minutes played. Hearts 2, RFS 0.
That's exactly what the fans have come to see. A really good start on the front foot. Everyone wanting the ball, passing it out, from the back through into the midfield. Midfielders running good run from Grant there to link up with Halliday.
Emerson now driving forward for RFS. He's looking to link up with Andre Ilic, but the striker runs to the right as the ball and pass from Emerson went to the left. Now trying to get possession back is Stefan Panic, but forced out of the Tynecastle pitch on the far side. Hearts will have the throw for Michael Smith to take. Again, the Hearts supporters raise the noise inside the Capital Stadium of Tynecastle. One that the RFS supporters and even players were really happy to come out to. Some Lithuanian links, a few players in the team. A lot of history here with Hearts and years gone by, so a big moment for them, but they've not got off to the best start in the Edinburgh with the 2-0 scoreline as Shankland charges down Maresh, and the ball stays in play at that top left corner. Shankland has it, uses Ginnelly, threatening to move into the penalty area. Grant on the overlap, Ginnelly cuts it back, there's Grant, and he gets the shot away. Right-footed, but an easy one to take at the near post for Steinbors, but Hearts piling on the pressure. Craig Levine.
Yeah, football's a funny game, isn't it? I mean, even in the very fact, I mean, almost every Hearts attack in this first, so how many, 10 minutes or so that we've played?
14 minutes on the clock.
14 minutes. Every attack's gone down the right-hand side to Ginnelly, the guy who you were hoping that the ball would go to. And the Hearts have been absolutely magnificent in the first period of this match, and the supporters are on a real high at the moment, and this is really important that the Hearts managed to do this today.
Kingsley battles with Simkovic in his own half of the ball. The RFS player comes out on top, tries to play the pass with the outside of the left foot. The ball will ricochet back for Stefan Panic. Jata offers the support there. Moving into the centre circle now. We'll spread that across to that far side for Lipushek. Now Mares on the left side touchline on the top of the pitch. In field for Friesenbeekler. He looks for the quick one-touch pass to Emerson. But that move will break down as the ball's behind the Brazilian forward and goes out for another throw into Hearts on that far side.
You just want them to keep going, keep doing as they're doing, keep getting the ball to Ginnelly. I think Kermit Soglu just sitting and protecting that back four is a good move for Hearts, it really is. And it allows Grant to go forward, it allows Halliday, as we've already seen with his goal, to get forward to try and support Shankland. And Mackay and Ginnelly coming off their wings.
Forward from Jagodinskis, looking for that top side again for Emerson's run forward, but the long ball is heavy and gets nowhere near the forward on the left side. And out it'll go for the Hearts goal kick. No change to the shape, it seems, at the moment for RFS, who lined up in that 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, I mean, RFS are rattled, you can tell that already, and if Hearts can keep putting the pressure on, there are more goals in this in the first half for certain.
Feed forward by Jata. Gordon comes out to take and has almost half of Tynecastle instructed to roll the ball out to the right side on the top part of the pitch for Michael Smith. Hearts moving forward again. Grant has possession just in front of the halfway line. Will delicately play the pass to this near side for Kingsley. Touched in field for Andy Halliday, the most recent goal scorer, with 17 minutes just coming up on the clock. Now Keogh in field for Grant. Right-footed, plays the diagonal pass to this near side for Barry Mackay, who's in space. Gets the touch into the box. Cochrane's already standing there, drives it back. Jatta cuts it out. The ball looking to go to the combination of Shankland and Halliday, who are just hanging around the penalty spot. But out it goes for the throw on the bottom left side of the pitch for Alex Cochrane to take.
Really good switch of play and lovely first touch from Barry Mackay into Cochrane.
Cochrane still has the ball in his hands. Grant comes short on the touchline for the throw. Cochrane with a right-footed cross swinging in towards the back post, but an easy one for Steinbors to take. The Latvian international with 25 caps. And he'll roll it out for Petr Mares on the far side. Diagonal now to this near right side. Simkovic moving into the final third, tries to cross it with the outside of the left foot again. He likes to do that, but it's headed away only as far as Jatta, who's standing still in the Hearts half. Plays it back for Lipušek. He'll just take the touch and bring it to this near side for Jagodinskis. The 30-year-old defender's just looking for some movement and ahead of him. Stefan Panic, the Serbia cap, is there. Now Friesenbichler picks it up. He wants to attack over to the far side for Mares. Quick pass left by Emerson, links up with Illich. Emerson has it now in the final third, far side, crosses it over. There's the header away by Keogh. It'll drop down for George Grant, who just waits as he peels away but runs into trouble and somehow manages to wriggle away with the ball. There's three attackers forward for Hearts, and there's a cynical challenge there from Ziga Lipušek. He knew what he was doing with RFS in trouble, brings down George Grant, shown the yellow card by the referee, and he wants more than a conversation and shown the card now as he brings back Ziga Lipušek for something he'd said just as he was running away there. But Hearts had a little bit of an opportunity, Alan, just to try and get the breakaway.
They did, and it's cynical. It's a yellow card all day long. I don't know what he's arguing about. You know, he's had Giannelli on his right hand side. He dips the shoulder, goes by the player, and he just wipes him right out.
Will be Keogh to take. Just rolls the ball over the halfway line. It will be taken just inside the RFS half as the Belgian referee just continues putting down Lipušek's name in the book.
Alan, do you think, I didn't see all the Celtic game, but do you think the 4-1-4-1 shape worked well in the Celtic match? Because it seems to have continued with that.
Yeah, it certainly worked. I mean, I think Humphreys is a really good athlete and a good foil up front. He is. He's what Shankland isn't. He's a runner. But Shankland then, you know, he's a goal scorer, Shankland. He's got another one again tonight. It certainly suits them, Craig, I think. It's the best formation for them at the moment, with the personnel that they've got.
Robbie Nielsen happy with that shape that they found. Giannelli was also one that was speaking in the pre-match press conference about how much it suits him. We saw that already in these opening 19 and a half minutes at Tynecastle as RFS play the diagonal ball again from this near side to the far side. But Emerson isn't high enough to keep that one in play, and Michael Smith again will have the throw to take. He made his return in that game against Celtic after missing the league match away to Aberdeen. It's one that Robbie Nielsen didn't want to take any risks with after a bit of a hamstring issue. His throws forward for Lawrence Shankland, and he loses possession and will give chase to the back line of RFS. Jagodinskis has it, the Latvian international, on the right side of the defence this evening. Lipušek, the other central defender who was most recently booked. And the pass forward from Mares is intercepted by Hearts. Andy Halliday has it, turns back and looks towards Smith on the right side of the defence. Hearts just readjusting the position a little bit. Sibic's making his way back, and he'll take the pass. Keogh moves back to help out. Kingsley now with a bit of space to move forward if he wants to do so. Cochrane's peeled away on the halfway line to this near side touchline. Takes over possession, helped out by Barry Mackay, who's just in field. Ball on the right foot, driving in field. Slips the pass through for Halliday, two ahead either side, but he was just thinking about which way he wanted to put the pass, and Jatta was coming back to intercept. Now RFS have possession. Illich holds up well with the touch of the right foot. Friesenbichler now out to the far side for Emerson. And the yellow boots moves in field. Right-footed pass for Simkovic, the RFS captain. He's looking to lay it off for Mares, but Giannelli saw what was about to happen there and steps in front of the RFS left-back, and he'll win possession back for the home side. Giannelli now back in the defensive area for Hearts. He'll play the ball off of Emerson, off the left leg, and out it'll go for the Hearts throw. 21 and a half minutes played. Hearts of Midlothian 2, RFS 0.
Yeah, the game seems to have settled down a little bit, but I mean, I think Hearts should endeavour to try and keep that tempo as high as possible and try and get this game finished in the first half.
Sibic has it from the throw, right-footed, he'll go long looking for Shankland. He's up there all on his own, crowded out by the 5 RFS players around him, but the header will go out of play and Hearts will have the throw and an opportunity to move up the pitch for Michael Smith. Robbie Nielsen's just standing on the edge of the technical area, Victor Morosh on the other side as well. Won't be happy with what he's witnessed from his side so far in these opening stages. Hearts with a 2-goal lead, not even at the halfway point of the first half yet. Shankland with the layoff for Ginnelly on that right side as Hearts go from right to left. Smith arrows the pass to the edge of the penalty area for Shankland, who just peels away into the wide area, keeping hold of the ball. Now Ginnelly has a look. Grant on the edge of the penalty area, takes possession, slips it infield. Shankland turns, lays it off for Smith. 3 in the area, across it goes. Claims with handball of Lipashek. And the assistant on the far side is signalling for the corner. And Maresh it was who turns away and just walks slowly back to his defensive position. But I think he had a look towards the officials there, Alan, as the ball came off as he was trying to block the cross. But
yeah, well, we've seen officials didn't give a penalty on Saturday, but it was a handball on Michael Smith. So it's worth a shout if nothing else. I just wondered in Scotland with VAR what they would have given.
Hearts have taken the corner short. It's worked to this near side. Smith bullets the ball towards the penalty area. Comes off the head of Jatta. Sliding challenge with Halliday. And RFS pick it up with 23 now on the clock at Tynecastle. Sorokins in field looking for the forward move, but it's given away as a chance for Illich to break away from the dispossession. Emerson picks up left side. Cut back to Friesenbeekler. Blocked by Smith in the 6-yard area. And the clearance will drop at the feet of George Grant, and he'll peel away. A nervy moment there for Hearts. RFS and Andre Illich were just trying to put the pressure on and force Hearts into the mistake, and that's what happened.
Now, what you don't want to do is encourage RFS. You just don't. You know, they're 2 up. If Hearts can they get 3 up, it'd be very difficult for them to then come back. But while it's 2, if they get the next goal, they're right in the game.
Yeah, it changes everything. And that was just a bit of slack play, wasn't it, in the midfield area?
Sibic has it out to that far side for Michael Smith in Hearts' own half. He'll run around, and now Andy Halliday will pick it up. Hearts just having an assessment of the options in front. Ginnelly's one of the furthest forward as he partners Lawrence Shankland, but won't get to the ball as Lipashek manages to shield it through to Steinbors, who seems to have shaken off that earlier knock that he took when Lawrence Shankland opened the scoring after only a few minutes. Emerson with the ball now for the away side. In field for Friesenbeekler. Now goes back towards Stefan Panic. Maresh steps up to support from the left back area. Panic will now turn and look towards this near side where Vitalis Jagodinskis has Sorokins on the right touchline. Sorokins with the ball in field now for Alfaseni Jatta. And now Simkovic dropping a little bit deeper to help out the midfield and just link up the play as RFS keep possession. Lipashek left-footed clips the ball long over the top of the Hearts defence. Illich won't get there as Kingsley was just keeping an eye on things, and the ball will be collected by Craig Gordon. Rolled out now for George Grant, centre of the Hearts territory. They'll now look for Keogh. The 1-2 pass is out to the far side for Smith. Now Keogh will turn in the maroon and look for Stephen Kingsley. Hearts supporters in the stand around us just urging that tempo to be picked up again and to move forward. Halliday picks it up now on the halfway line. Forward for Barry Mackay. Quick pass in between Hearts, just looking to drag RFS around from side to side as Keogh will now go down the right wing. Hearts shooting from right to left from our commentary position. Michael Smith in field. Halliday turns. It's Cochrane and Mackay in this near side. If he wants to stretch the play over, he'll use Kingsley, who's stepped up, and he now does spot Barry Mackay. Takes the ball into the cushion of the right side of his foot. And he just tries to go between the 2 RFS defenders and can't manage to find the room to manoeuvre. Out it goes for the throw. And almost 26 minutes on the clock. Heart of Midlothian 2, RFS 0.
After a really good start, 11 minutes or 2 up. It's been a bit of a lull the last 5 minutes of the game. RFS getting a little bit more of the ball, more possession, and that effort he should have had on goal a couple of minutes back. So I've just got to be careful.
Sorokins with the throw. Illich and Cochrane, the 2 number 19s in a battle there. Hearts will have possession as it rolls through to Sibic. Now Cochrane, forward for Mackay. Sorokins right on him, so Cochrane will get the ball back and move back the way, but there's very, very neat passing in that defensive line between Cochrane, Kingsley and Sibic. Now the ball's on the far side in front of the RFS technical area with Michael Smith. Kobe Sibic will give experienced Northern Ireland international with the ball back, and he's just lays it off to Sibic again, and he's just orchestrating the forward line of the midfield and attack of Hearts to try and create that space. There's no one in the middle at the moment. Grant will take that up. That will stretch a bit of open area for Josh Ginnelly. The passing very precise and slow at the moment as it goes back to Gordon. He received some complaints, but he's aware that Simkovic and Illich were marking Kingsley and Cochrane on this near side, so he didn't feel comfortable enough to play the ball there. Just went long on the far side out for the RFS throw. 2-0 Heart of Midlothian. Lipashek picks it up as RFS work it all the way back to the defensive line. Nagadinskas has it, and Hearts invited to move forward and apply some pressure to that back line of RFS. The goalkeeper will go long. Kingsley wins the header. Zoglu tries to knock it down for Cochrane. Simkovic is there. He thought he had enough strength to show off Cochrane, but looked like the Hearts left back managed to get the ball cleanly there, but the referees awarded the free kick to RFS.
Well, I disagree with that decision. There was nothing in that at all. Cochrane was just stronger than his opponent.
We'll give Jata and Gadinskas the option. Jata with the right foot will play it over to that far left side. Maresh brings it down off the chest in so in composed fashion. Emerson's in field. He'll get it forward for Friesenbeekler, but the pass back to Peter Maresh is extremely heavy and difficult for the Czechia international to take from his 3 caps back in the 2016-17 season. And now it'll go for the Hearts throw. Almost a half hour played. We're 2 minutes short of that. 2 goals for Hearts through Shankland and Halliday in the opening stages. The throw in gifted to RFS. Friesenbeekler will come forward. He has space to think about it. Simkovic in the area, turns, looks for Illich. The flag raised on the bottom right side as he tries to peel away. Hearts holding their line well there, but RFS are just beginning to find those little bits of open spaces.
You can see them, Stuart. You can see the Hearts players. Craig Gordon's out having a go. Kingsley's having a go. Kermit Soglu, Michael Smith, they're all saying, you know, we've got to raise the tempo here. Keep the game, keep the pace of the game up if we can. Make sure we're doing our stuff that we've done in that opening 10-11 minutes, because they've certainly taken their foot off it since then.
Yeah, I also think they stopped going down that right-hand side to Ginnelly, and to be fair, that Emerson has dropped deeper to try and double up and make sure that his full-back is protected, but I still think they need to try and get Ginnelly and Mackay on the ball.
The ball out for the throw. RFS will take. Over it goes that far side for Ziga Lipashek. Under pressure. Gets the pass in field looking for Panic. He slides and hooks the ball with his left foot forward for Emerson. But Hearts have forced RFS into the error, and Keogh will try to move forward. It breaks now for Barry Mackay in the centre position of the pitch, just in front of the penalty area, up to that far side for Ginnelly. He's looking to drive at Maresh. Decides to go back to Mackay. Smith is the option on the right touchline too. The 3 creative Hearts players ready to swing across him, but they're just exchanging the passes at the moment. Smith now advanced. Links up in field for Mackay. Back to Smith again. Ginnelly has it. He'll pass and move forward. Grown from the Hearts supporters. It's just allowed RFS to get some of those white jerseys back in front of Barry Mackay, moving forward the ball. Ginnelly turns neatly, down he goes. He's given the free kick to the disbelief of Peter Maresh, who has his arms outstretched as he appeals towards the Belgian referee, but he's not interested, and it's another dangerous position for Hearts and Stephen Kingsley to attack from this free kick. Craig Levine.
Yeah, it was a good patient play actually. They kept the ball very well out on that right hand side and managed to play an incisive pass to Ginnelly, the edge of the box, and he was brought down. And this is a great opportunity for maybe Kingsley from this sort of situation.
It's got Kingsley written all over it.
The supporters know that as well. As they stand to song, Stephen Kingsley is ready and in position to hook the ball with his left foot towards Pavel Steinborg's goal. The referee blows the whistle. It's a 3-man wall from RFS. Kingsley steps up, it's up and down, and it's a superb save from Pavel Steinborg, who managed to just get to that top right corner. As we look at it, he pulled off an excellent save in Riga and Josh Ginnelly. He's pulled off another there as Stephen Kingsley struck the free kick, because that one looked destined for the top corner. Alan Preston.
That's brilliant technique from Kingsley, and equally from the keeper as well. It's a great save. A wonderful execution from Kingsley. It's going in the top corner and the keeper tips it over the bar.
Yeah, that's a type of save we normally think that Craig Gordon can pull off, and it's right at the maximum of his wingspan, wasn't it? He just managed to get his fingers to it, or it's nestling that top corner.
Short corner taken by Hearts in that top left part of the pitch. Keogh receives it now. as the ball's worked back. Cochrane linking up with Mackay on that right side, tries to get the crossover. Maresh is sliding and he manages to get the block, and the ball comes back off the Hearts winger, and out it goes for the goal kick. And that may just settle the away side down again. We know that Hearts have got the taste for the goals this evening. They scored 3 in that league game on Saturday here against Celtic, but came away with nothing. Robbie Nielsen not interested in some of the plaudits. They're not getting a result. Here's Ginnelly moving forward towards the penalty area. He just tried to curl the ball with his right foot to the right side as we look at it with Pavel Steinbosch, but didn't get the right connection, and it was a comfortable save for the Latvian goalkeeper. And now RFS are right up the other end. Ilic can't bring the ball down. Kingsley comes in to defend. He goes down, and the whistle goes from the referee, who just tells the players to settle down. Hearts will have the free kick. Kingsley just gets to his feet, shakes that one off. Started in all the Europa Conference League matches so far for Hearts and Midlothian. Taken short by the home side. Smith has it. Gordon now back in the goalkeeper position in the penalty area. There's the pass to Kingsley. He'll release Cochrane over the halfway line now. Ginnelly just in field. Cochrane opts to keep the ball and finds the switch pass to Mackay over on the opposite side. He gets the quick pass into Shankland, holds off the defender, tries to roll it for Michael Smith, who's coming in. Halliday keeps it alive into the area, driven across the face of goal and taken at the near post by Pavel Steinbosch. And with 33 minutes on the clock at Tynecastle, it remains Hearts 2, RFS 0.
Craig, I'm just saying that Ginnelly and Mackay have swapped wings. It's one of these nights where for Josh Ginnelly, he started the game really well. You know, he's got the beating of the fullback. Whatever side he goes to, you just keep feeding him the ball. Yeah,
the two wide players for me are the key. I mean, Mackay started to come into the game a little bit more, but that's where all the creativity comes from. So whatever they need to do, whatever they should do to be getting the ball in the wide areas, get those two on the ball, get bodies in the box, get the ball in the box.
We told Brian in the press conference, Brian McLaughlin, our pitchside reporter ahead of this match, that it's maybe not a peak fitness, George Ginnelly, but he's ready to do whatever he has to do for the team. Liking the shape that Robbie Nielsen's playing at the moment, says all he can do is just go out and show the manager what he can do when he's on the pitch. As Hearts have the throw in their own half over on the far side. They're trying to play it out. Keogh gives it away. There's a strike from Sinkovic, and there's a deflection, and it just goes past Craig Gordon's goal. He was stranded, he looked wrong-footed, the Heart of Midlothian goalkeeper. It's a corner to RFS, and again Alan Preston, just one of those lapsed moments from Hearts.
Oh, honestly, they give the ball away in a needless area, and the shot, it takes a massive deflection. Craig Gordon's going one way. If that's in the target, it's in the back of the net.
He thought it was in, Alan.
I thought it was in.
Yeah, so did I. There's 3 people thought it was in.
Over on the top right side of the pitch, RFS will get ready to take. There's a little issue with the referee, who's just over with the 4th official. He'll come back onto the field of play. There's a chain of RFS players in the white up against the maroon, just chained to the back of the penalty spot. Lipacek and Jata are there. Ilic and Friesenbeether towards the front post. It's another outswinger, it's low. Friesenbeether gets the touch, a reaction save from Craig Gordon at the near post. It's still dangerous as the ball's in the box, as Shankland tries to peel away and just clears it with the right foot up that channel. There's no one there for Hearts, so they'll now come pushing out of the penalty box. Another dangerous delivery, causing a bit of a problem for Craig Gordon. Long ball again now from the RFS back line. Civic looks to hold off Andre Ilic, and he does a very strong job of doing so. Out it goes for the goal kick for Craig Gordon to take. 35 minutes on the clock. Heart of Midlothian 2, RFS 0.
Yeah, good play by Civic there. Shielded the ball really, really well. He's got good pace, and it was a great bit of defending. And again, we need to go back to Craig Gordon's save, because, I mean, his reactions are that of a mongoose, if that makes sense.
I've never seen a mongoose in the goals. Obviously, we're just watching it live. I think he saves it with his foot.
It takes a massive deflection, and he somehow manages to keep it out of the net. That's what he's made a career of. He just keeps the ball out of the net, no matter how he does it.
It really looked effortless the way Craig Gordon.
I think Brian's got a monitor over there. Maybe he's punched that way, Brian.
Yeah, it actually took 2 deflections, and Craig managed to get his left hand to punch it away. It was just another remarkable save.
Hearts have the ball. Thanks for the closer insight in that, Brian. Grant urged forward with Michael Smith there, but it comes to this near side for Kingsley. Just under 10 minutes to go until half time. Hearts with the 2-goal lead at the moment. Kingsley lays it off for Cochrane, left side. Halliday makes the forward run, but infield it'll go once again to Stephen Kingsley. Shankland, the lone man in the penalty area, lays it off. Kingsley with a left-footed shot. It's going away from goal as it goes wide. But again, Hearts just looking to get into those dangerous positions. But Ginnelly on that left side now, it's just opening up a bit again. And Kingsley, Cochrane all joining in the attack. They want to get in the act this evening. It remains 2-0.
Yeah, it was lovely play. You know, the ball played up to Shankland. Really good strikers play. He's leaning into his opponent, the centre half against him. He holds him off and he lays it off to Stephen Kingsley onto his left foot, and he's unlucky with the shot.
A 4-on-4 here maybe for RFS as Illich turns looking to find Emerson, but it's Smith who manages to cover and see the ball back to the goalkeeper Craig Gordon. He goes long. Ziga Lupacek will bring it down very comfortably so, and plays the pass over to this near side for Jagodinskis. Stefan Panic now, the midfielder, comes across. Friesenbeekler in the centre circle, hooks the pass over the left foot. Emerson with the pace will get there before it goes out of play. He manages to get the touch. The ball rolls along the touchline and eventually goes out for the Hearts goal kick.
Yeah, this game isn't dead, Alan, is it?
No chance.
There's far too much in it for RFS at this moment. So that's 2 set pieces now and 2 saves that Craig Gordon's had to make. So I'll be making it top priority not to give any. I mean, sometimes you have to give a corner away, but I mean, don't do anything silly, don't do anything stupid or take any chances in those situations.
So that's it. They don't have to take chances. See, in the defensive third, Craig, there's no need. You know, yes, we'd all like to play the beautiful game, but at the moment the game's, you know, in the bag. They're 2-0 up, but don't overpass it for passing's sake in needless areas.
Emerson has possession, midway point of the Heart of Midlothian half. Chatta plays the pass over it. He's looking to find Panic there, but it comes off the heels of the Belgian referee Bram van Drieschip, so he will stop play to restart, give RFS possession. Stefan Panic receives the drop ball and goes to that far left side for Maresh. Has a look, Friesenbeekler's there, the ball will go over his head. Illich brings it down for Friesenbeekler with the header, and he strikes it with the volley, and a superb strike into the back of the net, and RFS have their goal. They've got one back just over 5 minutes towards half time, and those famous words were, this game isn't dead, and it certainly isn't with that strike. It's Hearts 2, RFS 1.
Well, you've got to credit Panic with an absolutely brilliant strike. I mean, he's 22, 23 yards out. The ball's just bounced up, and he's caught it so sweetly. Craig Gordon, I don't know whether he was blocked, his vision was blocked, but I mean, he hardly moved. The ball was struck that well. It's gone into sort of waist height into the far corner of the net, and yeah, they were shown just enough to believe that the game had a long way to go, and Hearts just need to get going again and get their energy levels back up again.
Scored his only European goal this season in the 2-2 draw with Linfield that started the fight back after being 2-0 down in the first leg, and that was a brilliant strike from Kevin Friesenbeekler, the former Austrian youth international, 28-year-old now, and RFS have gained confidence from that. Emerson moving forward, Illich can't take it in. Friesenbeekler the most advanced. He will look to chase down Craig Gordon, who swipes it away with the left foot up towards Lawrence Shankland. Does well to win the header against Jagodinskis. Halliday was following up, but RFS have possession as Halliday looks towards the referee, but play continues. Simkovic, the captain, little figure, 5'9", just peels away. RFS will keep possession by going back to Pavel Steinbors, and he'll open it up for the defender Jagodinskis to move forward on this near side touchline. Sorokins now exchanges passes with Panic. Back to the defender. The noise you can maybe hear in the background and the drum comes from the RFS supporters over to our left, who are bouncing up and down and creating some noise. We've had a couple of the results in this European journey to give confidence that they'll still pose a threat to Hearts in this one. As that Friesenbeekler strike just a couple of moments ago proven to do so, and they will have a free kick over on the far side. And it'll be a dangerous one on the touchline in line with the penalty spot. And it could be a wicked delivery from Simkovic here to try and cause more trouble in that Hearts penalty area. Hearts 2, RFS 1. Yeah,
just inviting pressure on top of you, needless. It is now, and you can see, I mean, Hearts are lining up, 7 yards out. But RFS are a massive side when you see it. And any quality, so far, the 2 balls that have come in the box, Craig Gordon's had to make 2 magnificent saves.
On the far side, free kick being readied by Simkovic. He's the only one there, but RFS have 6 in the penalty area, all around the penalty spot outside the 6-yard box. Jagodinskis, Ilic and Lipušek, the tall figures, all await the delivery from Simkevic's left foot. It's curled towards a deep position. The header away by Ilic. And it was a Keogh, I believe, at the front post who was putting his body on the line to header that one away at the front post. The free kick awarded by the referee, and it will remain with about 3.5 minutes to go until the interval. Heart of Midlothian 2, RFS 1.
Yeah, Hearts really must get in half time here, at least a 2-1 advantage. Robbie will be able to reset then and try and get their energy levels back up to what they were in the first sort of 20 minutes of the match, because Hearts were absolutely fabulous at the start of this match.
Hearts trying to play it out from the back. Grant's giving it away. Emerson lays it off now for Panic. Peels it back to Emerson again. He's in line with the penalty box on that far side of the pitch. Quick passing from Friesenbeekler. Maresch will curl it in. Keogh's there. He tries to clear it with the right foot. It's up in the air, and Craig Gordon won't be able to come out and prevent that one from going behind. So it's another RFS corner.
Far too many chances, needless chances, Craig, in it. You're just outside your own box. What you actually thinking about?
Keogh's standing in the box on his own. The ball's crossed in. It's a poor cross. All he needs to do is clear it, and he slices it behind to give another set piece, which gives what I believe would be RFS's best chance of scoring goals.
It's Thomas Sinkovic again, another former Austrian youth international. It's not too far away from the free kick where that was taken on the far side. It's a low corner outswinger with the left foot, cleared away by Mackay, but only as far as the corner taker, and there is Josh Giannelli sprinting across to swipe the ball away from Simkovic's left foot, and Hearts will reset for the throw. Just about over 2 minutes to play until half time, maybe a couple of stoppages. Maresch takes the throw. It's all the way back to the midway point of the Hearts half for Lipušek. Maresch receives it again, infield now for Emerson, tries to shift it out of the right foot quickly. He claims the last touch came off a Hearts player. It goes out for the throw, and Hearts are awarded the decision by the referee. Emerson unhappy, and Michael Smith will be happy to take over possession. It's Hearts' possession now to just try and see that clock down, perhaps to go through to half time. Shanklin tries to break away, but the challenge on Maresch will result in an RFS free kick, and the referee's coming over to have a word with Lawrence Shanklin. He goes to the pocket too, and he'll show the Hearts striker the yellow card. I believe Shanklin was booked in the away game against RFS, so another one picked up there. Did you see much in that one, Craig?
I don't know. It looked at the arm movement. Looks like he's maybe caught him with his elbow or something, but I think Shanklin's complaining it was completely accidental, or I might have just made that whole thing up. I'm not sure.
But it does give RFS that chance to get the ball forward. It's just inside the Hearts half. Again, they have 7 forward scattered across. There's a bit of a pushing match going on between Halliday and Ilic, which the referee's just going over to sort out at the moment. Hearts holding a high line just out from the D of the penalty area. The cross will come from that far side from Petr Maresch, left-footed, aims towards the penalty spot. Gordon comes out unchallenged, and they can rise into there and claim the ball, and starts things quickly with a wonderful throw out to Barry Mackay, and he just equally a wonderful touch with the right foot of his toes to bring the ball down. He goes down under the challenge from Simkovic and gets his side a free kick. As Barry Mackay gets back to his feet, he's given a bit of recognition to Craig Gordon there for the quick action to get the ball out.
Simkovic was lucky not to get booked there. I mean, it was a quite cynical challenge.
Hearts of the ball. The free kick's been worked towards the back line again, though. 2 additional minutes signalled as Josh Giannelli comes over the halfway line on the far side. He checks his run, which the Hearts supporters, as you can hear, are not happy with. The ball goes back to Smith and Civic, and over to this near side for Kingsley. He'll skip past the challenge from Ilic and drive forward, but runs into 2 white shirts in Simkovic and Jatta. Turns back to Civic now. The ball zipped into the feet of Andy Halliday. He does well to control it, and he'll get it out to that far right side for Smith. Now Giannelli on the touchline. Back to Michael Smith, the right back once again. Infield for Halliday. That's really with no interest at the moment in driving forward as they just play the ball around. The 45 minutes up on the clock. We're almost at the end of the first additional minute of the 2 signalled by the 4th official. Is there time for Hearts to try and get that 2-goal cushion back? Cochrane Forward for Shankland on the left wing, turning away, touches the ball with his right foot for Cochrane. Now back towards Mackay in a deeper position, driving infield on the right foot, slips it and exchanges passes with George Grant, back heel. Shankland tries to squeeze it through past the legs of Jagodinskis, and then Michael Smith steps up with the left-footed shot. That one blocked by Emerson. Civic trying to peel away on the right side. Emerson stepped in and nearly dragged the ball away. Well, Civic was out of position, but out it goes for the RFS throw on the far side, midway point of their half, and it remains just before the half-time interval. Hearts 2, RFS 1.
And it's about game management for Hearts. You know, they were 2-0 up, doing really well, and then they've stopped doing the things that gave them that lead.
The goal spooked them a bit, Alan.
It has, Craig, but they've needlessly let RFS back in the game by playing in silly areas. Janelli's now turning back instead of turning forward. You know, and you can hear the crowd starting
the body
to get
language is different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ball forward from Sorokins, looking for Illich. Is there one last chance for RFS to threaten and possibly grab an equaliser before half-time? It's Emerson, he wants to come in on the right foot, he can't, lays it off to Mares. Across it goes, Illich gets the touch, and Gordon Smullers at the near post, and the signal is settled down by Keogh. And Civic was around there too, but Hearts having to fly to get the body in front to try and not allow Andre Illich the connection. He loves that first touch strike towards goal with the left foot. He scored one just like it in the league for RFS on Sunday in their 4-0 victory. But as the ball is played out by Craig Gordon, it will be half-time, signalled by the Belgian referee. He's shown a couple of yellow cards already in this first half, and there has been a few goals to report. Lawrence Shankland opened the scoring after just a few minutes on the clocks from some good play down the right side. Josh Ginnelly involved just as he was so much in the reverse game over in Riga, and Shankland slid and managed to poke the ball beyond Steinbors, who took a knock but managed to recover, and that gave Hearts the 1-goal lead. And it was only about 10 minutes later when Andy Halliday was driving forward on the left side of the pitch. He struck a shot towards goal. It took a deflection of Jagodinskis but looked on target, and the ball with the deflection was helped beyond the stranded Pavel Steinbors in net. Kingsley had a couple of free kick efforts that threatened for Hearts, but towards the end of the half, a wicked strike from Kevin Friesenbeekler left Craig Gordon stranded and could only watch it go high into the top right corner of the Hearts net. And some set-piece opportunities also presented danger, but RFS couldn't grab an equaliser, and they will be looking forward to the second half. Hearts need to try and inject the same tempo they started the first half with in the second, but half-time at Tynecastle in the Europa Conference League Group A. It's Heart of Midlothian 2, RFS 1.
Hearts in the Europa Conference League.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
This Halloween, Rab Florence explores one of Scotland's most haunted places.
I've got a feeling I think I know where we might be.
Only Rab has no idea where he's going until he arrives blindfolded at the stage door.
I'd heard a lot of stories about the Panopticon, an old music hall hidden away above an amusement arcade in Glasgow city centre.
I do believe there's a possibility that Solomon is in this building because things do go missing.
And that's another of the supposed ghostly noises, the sound of children laughing.
Rab Florence is on a ghost hunt.
Hello, come on you.
Monday from 11:30 in the morning and again from 9:30 at night on BBC Radio Scotland.
Yes, tune in for that. We're on European action on Sports Sound this evening. What a start from Hearts. 2 early goals on Shankland in 3 minutes. Andy Halliday by way of a deflection in 12 minutes. But worrying signs, I think it's fair to say, towards the end of the half. Really careless in possession at times. And what a goal from Friesenbeekler for the away side to get RFS right back into this one. Derek Ferguson, what have you made of that first half?
Oh, great start, obviously, getting the goal. Started quickly, obviously aggressively, which we were hoping that would be the case, and they get that little bit of fortune through Andy Halliday, you know, trying his luck. And yeah, it was certainly a wicked deflection, takes into the back of the net. And I was sitting here quite comfortable, enjoying a Scottish team playing well in Europe, a couple of goals up, but slowly but surely a little bit of slackness started to creep into their play, and it seemed to give RFS a little bit more confidence. They started to pop it about a little bit, and the goal, no, that was what a strike.
And they deserved that, didn't they? Had a lot of chances.
Yeah, and I said before the game, they're a better footballing side than I first thought. And when I watched the first game when over there in Latvia, and I was quite impressed with them. I thought they were just going to be a big physical side, a long ball side, but they use the long ball well. It's normally diagonals they hit, it's not straight balls. So they've played a little bit, good possession at times, got themselves up the park, but when needed, they've went a little bit longer, and they've caused a few problems, but it was a top goal, and it got a little bit nervous there towards the end. So I think that half times came at the right time. Robbie will get them in, get some instructions, and get a wee bit more get that belief back into the side, because that slackness, you could just see it. Maybe they thought it was going all too well, and they've just took the foot off the gas, and they've paid the price. So, but I was expecting to come out aggressive into the second half.
It's amazing, Tom, how quickly a game can change. I'd imagine an atmosphere, a feeling inside a stadium as well, because Hearts were absolutely cruising there at one point.
Yeah, I mean, to score their first goal after 3 minutes and their second goal after 12 minutes, it's a brilliant start. And so much of what they were doing was really good. Their intensity was good, their threat, the work rate, everything was good. They get a break with the second goal, but so what? They're 2-0 up. Kingsley free kick, good save by the goalkeeper. That's just around the half-hour mark. They're flying it. They're very, very comfortable in the game. And then, I don't know, at 2-0, obviously RFS are going to have a go. They've got no other choice. They have to have a go. And Hearts have been very passive in response to that. They've ceded the momentum to RFS, and they're on the back foot now, and it could be 2-2. To begin with, they imposed themselves on RFS, but they've just fallen away now, and this game is being pretty much dominated by the visitors.
We'll get back to Alan and to Craig to get their thoughts on that first half, what they're expecting for the second period. Let's now hear, though, from another Hearts legend, Gary Locke. He's with Brian.
Yeah, a remarkable opening 45 minutes. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I thought we started the game really well, Brian. Played some great stuff, scored 2 really good goals. I think after that we've got a wee bit sloppy in possession, maybe playing a few needless passes and that, and we've let them come back into the game, and probably the last 15 minutes they've had the better of it. So hopefully Robbie will have a wee word at half time and we can start the second half like we started the first.
Yeah, I can't imagine Robbie will be too happy about that. Why do you think the pace slowed down?
I don't know, maybe some of us thought it was too easy. We had a lot of possession and we were playing some brilliant stuff. I thought we were passing the ball really well. As I say, got the 2 goals in front, and I think maybe thought that's a job done. But they've showed, they've had a couple of decent results in Europe. They drew with Fiorentina, drew with Istanbul, so they're a decent team, and we'll need to be on our toes.
But Craig, he'd no chance with the goal, but he's had a couple of really good saves against
He's had a couple of brilliant saves, and Craig's done that for years for us. Very lucky to have him between the sticks, and their goal was a fantastic strike. So it's very much game on. We'll have to start the second half well. I think the next goal's going to be massive. If we can get it, and hopefully we can be a wee bit more comfortable in the game. But they've shown that they've got a bit of quality as well.
You've been in that dressing room as player and manager, of course. If you were down there now, what would you be telling the players? Remember, it's a family show, Gary.
I think we've got to waken up a wee bit. The last 15 minutes of the first half, we've been quite slack in possession, giving needless possession away, and we need to be at it. In games like this in Europe, there's no easy games. We can't afford to be slack. But if we can get back to doing what we're doing in the first 20-25 minutes, hopefully we can be all right.
Can you sense an edge from the crowd as well?
You always get that here at Tynecastle. When we see us giving the ball away and giving the ball away needlessly, the fans will always get on your case a wee bit. But I think in the main, the atmosphere's been great. The fans have been right behind the team, and if we can, as I say, get back to playing how we did in the first 25 minutes, hopefully we'll be all right.
Finally, Gary, I think your son has become a little bit of a star, has he not? This morning on Good Morning Scotland, has he not?
They tell me that he's got a better opinion about the Hearts than what I have. But it was one of them, I'd say to go on the radio live. He was lying sleeping, and as soon as obviously the interview started, he woke up and started telling the interview what to do. So he's a bit of a hero this morning, but hopefully his prediction's right. He says we won 3-1, so hopefully he's bang on.
I'm sure he's a jambo as well.
Oh, that's his first 2 words, Brian.
I'm sure it is.
See you later on.
I missed it this morning. The GMS Sport, I think around 8:25. I just missed it. Gary Locke was on. I think his son was the star, very much the star of the show on that this morning. Alan, pick up on what Gary was saying there, just in terms of perhaps how the atmosphere, the feeling around the stadium has changed as the half wore on there.
Yeah, they've stopped doing the things that got them success, which was getting the ball to Mackay and Giannelli, and then in turn they've both been positive. Giannelli started passing it back instead of taking his full back on. In that opening period where they were 2-0 up, he was on the ball a lot. He was creating things, created the opening goal for Shankland, and he was very positive. But since then, it's as if he's dropped off, and Mackay's the same. I think his form's not been great latterly, to be honest. But if I'm Robbie, I'm telling him, get the ball out to these two guys, and I'm telling the two of you, I don't want you turning back. I want you to take your full back on. If you lose it, you might win a throw-in further up, a corner. You know, you might get a cross in and we score a goal, but just be positive. And I think there was a bit of negativity coming in from the team, which then got on to the supporters. They weren't happy because they've seen that the players weren't doing what they should have been doing in that, as they did do in that opening period.
I mean, you know, is it a subconscious thing? Hearts players are 2-0 up, saying to themselves, you know, this is good. Let's protect this. Let's not go after a third and run the risk of losing one. It's the psychology of sport. You know, this is why we love it so much. The opposition sense a bit of weakness and they go after it. The opposition create a few chances and they get encouragement from it. Hearts give up those chances and they get jittery. You know, that's why we love
Tom,
sport.
they're vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, they're vulnerable. Recent results have made them vulnerable. That's what happens. And the defensive shield, and I'm talking about their mental strength, has weakened because of recent results. And that's why this game is so hugely important, because getting a win here, and even if they hang on to win 2-1, I think it will be a very significant result for them. Well, the negativity that's surrounded recent matches. So, okay, they played well against Celtic at the weekend, but at the same time, it's still a defeat. So I do think that they're a little bit vulnerable at the moment.
Yeah. And I think that the 2-0, Tom, is a very precarious scoreline.
Yeah.
RFS have got it and they're right back in the game. If Hearts have got the third, maybe RFS switch off, but they've now been given hope with 45 minutes to go. And we touched on it at the start of the game, it's £430,000. Now, for Hearts, it's a lot of money with 17,000 crowd. What's it going to do to RFS with 600 crowd?
Exactly.
You know, it's a big pot of money at the end of this if whatever team wins it.
Craig, how difficult is it to change things when you can see the players getting nervous, you can see the sloppy passes starting to creep into play? As a manager on the touchline, how can you affect that?
Well, I think at half-time, Robbie has to try and get them in a position where they're feeling confident again. I mean, they started the game, things went well for them. They got the first goal, got the second goal. I think to a degree, they took their foot off the gas a little bit. They didn't keep that tempo going, and we spoke about that sort of midway through the first half. So, yeah, I mean, this is what happens when players have had recent defeats. It's very difficult for them once they get in front to continue to play with complete freedom, because what they tend to do is think, well, we've lost a lot of goals recently, we would need to, and this is subconsciously, I think they say, I think we need to maybe just be a little bit safer. And that, there was a period halfway through the first half where Hearts had 3 or 4 opportunities to pass forward, and they decided to play safe and go back the way. And that, for me, shows that mentality, that they're playing safe. They're not continuing in the vein in which they started the match. And that would be what Robbie needs to find for the start of the second half.
I think he just needs to remind them, Craig, you know, that they're a good side when they do it quick, they do it sharp, and they're aggressive. And they just need to get back to that. And sometimes you look at that and it's the difference between a good player and a top player, because the top players, they keep at it. They don't think it's too easy. They don't take the foot off the gas. And this is all part of the learning curve. And that's what they'll know, because they've allowed this team back into it when they should have had them dead and buried. Because, as we know, this team RFS, at the end of the season, you know, and when they go 2-0 down, there was an opportunity there to kill them off. They haven't. They've allowed them back into the game. But what you have to do at half-time is just remind the players, get back to what you've done well in the first 20-25 minutes, and you'll win this game, and that's the important thing, win the game. But it's just, don't make them nervous, just give them that little bit of confidence.
Yeah. But you can, we said at the start of the game, this crowd can play their part. If Hearts go 3-1 up, it'll really play their part. If it goes 2-2, it'll go the opposite way. Because it was starting to creep in, Craig, it was starting to creep in at 2-1. If it goes 2-2, the crowd will turn.
Yeah, and I think it's sometimes, as I say, it's the players subconsciously play a safe pass rather than take a chance. And then the supporters see the pass that's on, the one that would be more exciting. It doesn't get played, and then there's a little bit of ripple of unrest. And that's what we experienced a little bit towards the end of the first half.
You can see it in so many different sports. You watch Wimbledon and you see John McEnroe seeing a player who might be 2 sets to 1 up, and he goes, he's tightening up. He's getting a bit nervous, and sure enough, the guy starts to lose his confidence.
He can sense it.
He can sense it. And that's what's happening here. So Hearts need to come out and stop playing the way they did in the first 15-20.
It doesn't always have to come from Robbie. The players have got to put the demands on each other. And if one or two are slacking in, you know, one or two of the players have got to get after those players. You know, put a demand in each other. And I think it just get a little bit too easy for them. And as I said, they've paid the price, so they've got a bit of work to do in the second half.
Yeah, I'm Fergie, you're right, and it's game management, Kenny. Sorry, it's game management. That is not an inexperienced Hearts team.
And that's the thing, I was just going to say, when we're talking about Livingston getting that great result at Ibrox and the fans starting to turn on the players, and Stephen Thompson and saying, look, I played with Barry Ferguson, it didn't affect him. He put the chest out and he rose to the occasion, he blanked all that noise out. The concern here for Hearts, I guess, is that these players are in a poor run of form and it could affect them. Let's find out. They're leading by 2-1 against RFS. Let's get back to Alan, to Craig and to Stuart Mitchell.
Thanks again, Kenny. Hearts haven't won in their last 6 in all competitions since the 3-0 win against Motherwell on the team's return from Riga. RFS are about to take kick-off. The Hearts fans on their feet, ready to help their side in this second half. Look to claim a Europa Conference League Group A home victory. And RFS immediately, and taking kick-off, go for that diagonal from the left side to the right. The ball breaks to Jata in the midfield on that right side now again. And the hopeful cross into the penalty area is collected by Craig Gordon, who stands in the goal to our left. Remember, Hearts in their full maroon colours, jersey, shorts and socks. And RFS all in white. Hearts going from left to right into their own supporters. RFS going from right to left here at Tynecastle in their position opposite the main stand. And we'll be going over to shoot into the 42 supporters over there on our left, following RFS this evening. The crowd announced 15,863, so Brian pre-match possibly, if you were tuned into Sports Sound, speaking to Maxims, and he said it would be a big event for the RFS players playing in front of a big crowd at Tynecastle this evening. They'll come out for the second half with the hopes of grabbing an equaliser, take the game to 2-2, 2-1 at the moment, thanks to the goals from Shankland and Halliday before Kevin Friesenbeekler scored in the 39th minute to get RFS back into the game. Hearts are looking to pick their way through on the far side as they go from left to right, and the long ball's forward for Shankland, who takes it down in the chest. Barry Mackay skips the challenge in the centre circle from Stefan Panic, and now has the ball on this near side. Smith links up with Ginnelly, who's now moved back to that right wing. They'll lay the pass off to Barry Mackay, who's now in midfield position, clips the ball forward for Shankland. Ginnelly strike just over the crossbar. The flag raised by the assistant on the near side. But Josh Ginnelly didn't know that, and he caught that one sweetly, and Pavel Steinborz had no idea the flag had been raised and was stretching to try and reach it, Craig.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed with Shankland with his link-up play this evening. Again, he's one touch laid down into Ginnelly's path, and it was a really good strike. Unfortunately, Shankland had come back from an offside position.
That's one thing, Alan. A few times in the first half, he was kind of on his own up there in the penalty area, waiting on the supporting players coming up. He had 4 white jerseys around him, and he had to be strong and hold the ball up. Yeah, with Humphreys out and Boyce out long term, he's got a big responsibility this season, Lawrence Shankland. You know, and Saturday was great, scoring his hat-trick. Tonight, I think, I agree with Craig, I think he's linked up very well. He is isolated at times, but he's used his body well. He's laid one back for Kingsley in the first half, and then that one for Ginnelly there. Ginnelly has it in the Hearts half and spreads it along to that far side for Stephen Kingsley. Stepping up from the central defensive position, he has Mackay on the left touchline, in between the two technical areas here at Tynecastle. Civic will now receive it on the right side of the defence. He has Smith coming back from an attacking position up the touchline on the near side, and you'll get the ball forward, the Northern Ireland international, to George Grant. He slips it back in for the onward forward run of Michael Smith. Halliday now turns in between Simkovic and Jata of RFS. Mackay has it. It's now forward for Alex Cochrane, just on the edge of the final third. He'll lay it back to Barry Mackay. He has a look up into the penalty area. Right-footed, teases the crossover. Janelli's there, and Peter Mares sliding, just manages to get a last gasp touch on it to turn it behind for a Hearts corner. And they are looking to start the second half the same way they started the first. Hearts 2, RFS 1.
Yeah, that was good play. The two wide players combining, with Barry Mackay coming inside, floating the ball into the back post, and Janelli's appeared, and I think Maris just got the slightest of touches on it to divert it out for a corner.
Barry Mackay will receive an applause as he goes down to that bottom right corner rack to deliver the corner. Hearts have played quite a few of the ones they had in the first half. The couple they had short, and Keogh's there to allow that opportunity to happen again, and that's exactly what happens. Mackay receives the ball back. Cochrane standing nearest on the left. He'll swing it in left-footed towards the back post. Kingsley with the header, and it looked to come off an RFS player at the back post, but the referee, not aware of it, points for the RFS goal kick, and looked to be Jagadinskas or Sorokins over on that far side. And it's Steinbors who will restart with the ball down on the edge of the 6-yard area. RFS will come up the left side. Emerson in field now for Illich. He turns but plays the pass straight to Barry Mackay. There's no one ahead of him, so he'll opt to go back the way to Cochrane. Maybe had an opportunity to try and drive forward and go on one of the runs that Barry Mackay so often likes to do. It's now on the near side with Smith. 49.5 minutes on the clock. No second half goal, so it remains 2-1 to Hearts. Keogh, right-footed, tries to lift the ball over on top of Sorokins. There's no one there for Hearts, so the RFS defender will manage to take it down. Over 125 appearances in his 6 years since joining the club in 2016, Varislav Sorokins, the 25-year-old defender. RFS now playing the ball forward on this near left side. Emerson in field for Friesenbeekler, who scored with that terrific strike just 6 minutes before half-time. Panic, right-footed, diagonal to the far side of the pitch, looking for Sorokins. The ball over his head. He wasn't sure where it was going to drop, and it took pace off the Tynecastle pitch and over out on that far side for the Hearts throw. The top left corner flag for Alex Cochrane to take. I mentioned he's played every minute in Europe for Hearts. Alex Cochrane, so much energy, so much desire in his game. And the Hearts fans want to see more of what he was doing in the first half, coming up to support whoever was on the left wing, whether it was Janelli or Mackay. He's trying to get out of his defensive zone with the throw there, and RFS will put the ball right back at Hearts. Illich gets the touch. It comes off Kingsley and then back off Illich, and will go out for the Hearts goal kick. Hearts 2, RFS 1, 15.5 minutes played.
I'll tell you what's interesting, Alan, without Kingsley in the back line this start of this season, they would really have been struggling, wouldn't they? But he's been very impressive.
He's been magnificent, Craig, he really has, and considering it's not his natural position, you know, he's taken to it. It's great coming out a left-sided centre-half, playing, you know yourself, it's better a left in there than a right if possible, and he's really taken to the role. He's good in the air for his size, he's aggressive, and when he comes out for the back, and he got forward for a shot, when he comes out for the back, he's a great passer of the ball.
Cochrane has it, looks in field for Mackay, runs along the halfway line and turns back towards the technical areas. He navigates his way around Sorokins. He has it on the right foot of those blue boots, slips it in looking for Shankland. The break does go Hearts' direction. George Grant has it. Over to Cochrane now. He has Mackay in field. Flag stays down as the RFS players look for an offside. It's now shifted to this near side for Michael Smith. Janelli on the touchline. Mares comes out to meet him. Janelli encouraged to drive forward. He has the ball on the toes of the right foot, drills it low, but it's touched away there in defence and cleared upfield towards Illich. Civic manages to get his body in front and shows his strength well. Touches it out for the RFS throw, but the Hearts supporters happy. Kobe Civic showing that desire to get his body in front of Andre Illich, who we've seen over the 90 minutes in Riga and from the 51 minutes here. He's a dangerous player. Plays that lone striker lone well. He has good upper body strength too. But Civic more than a match so far. Simkovic has the ball from the throw. It looks for Illich in the forward line. Too much towards Craig Gordon, and he'll restart quickly, going to the far side for Cochrane. He jogs forward with the ball over the halfway line again. Barry Mackay comes short, has it deep, looks for that long ball into the penalty area. Janelli makes the run, it's headed away by Lipushek. Grant takes it down right side of the penalty area, curls it towards the back post, nobody's there. The Sorokins didn't know that for RFS, and he touches it behind with a cushioned header, and it'll be another Hearts corner. 52.5 played. Hearts 2, RFS 1.
And there's nothing wrong with that ball played forward. Janelli comes off his wing, the ball's played over the top, and then Hearts got onto it and they've won themselves a corner.
The top right corner arc as we look at it from the commentary position opposite the main stand. Cochrane's there, Mackay again offering the short option. Cochrane raises both hands in the air, and this one will go into the penalty box. It's towards Keogh, heads it back to where it came from, and that's headed away as Sibic was looking to get on the end of it. Looked like Jagadinskas was there first. Smith, the only man back for Hearts, plays the diagonal to that far side, touched down by Cochrane. Mackay on the corner, delivers it to the back post area. Steinbors came out, he didn't know what to do, he was in two minds, so acrobatically manages to punch it away. It looked more like something from a superhero movie than anything else. Alan Preston's laughing to my right, but corner Hearts, and it remains 2-1.
Well, what was that?
there's one for the cameras, but that's something different, isn't it?
Oh wow, it's very difficult to explain. He could have walked out and caught it.
Because then you could do that again if that came in. Again, I don't know if he could actually do that again.
It all happened in slow motion. Hearts looking to go quick with the corner. Cochrane has it, bottom right corner. Art Mackay once again there as the short option. Cochrane whips it in left footed towards the back post, headed away by Panic on the edge of the 6-yard area. 54 minutes almost played. Hearts still have it. Coming down the left side, crosses low off Panic again, who's the first man at the front of the penalty box, and Smith under pressure from Friesenbeekler. Go all the way back to Craig Gordon before he'll move out to the right back position to offer himself. Gordon goes long up to the left side looking for Ginnelly. Both him and Sorokins miss the ball. The two players will retreat to retrieve. Cleared away by Sorokins. Jatta in a battle with Halliday, and in a bit of a tango as Halliday's wrapped around the right leg of Alfuseni Jatta. Kevin Friesenbeekler now on the touchline. Back to Jatta again. He immediately swipes it with the right foot to this near side. Smith tries to clear, but it's up in the air. Doesn't get out of the Hearts half. Maresh breaks forward, gets the touch, and it's off of Grant, who clears away in the middle of the pitch for Hearts, and Emerson will have the throw to take for RFS. He goes quickly. Maresh down the blonde hair. He's looking for something from the left, but Keogh sweeps up, takes possession for Hearts. Now Halliday, far left side for Ginnelly, who's still holding that position once again. The cheer from the Hearts supporters is for him to run at Sorokins. He waits on the support from Cochrane on the overlap. Has it on the right foot. Ginnelly just slows the game down. Here's Kingsley. He's stretched out to that far side. 1-2 pass with Halliday. Now Ginnelly has it. Encouraged to move forward now. He's in the final third. Left side of the penalty area. Goes for the step over. Right-footed Cochrane. Clips over to the back post, and it's just a couple of feet away from Lawrence Shankland, who was stretching to get there. The cross was over his head, but Steinbors didn't know where it was going. He came out, put Shankland off a little bit, and the ball goes over the touchline out for the goal kick. And with 55.5 minutes played, it's still Hearts 2, RFS 1.
Yeah, it's been a reasonably good start, Alan, to this the second half. I think they've been G'd up at half-time in the dressing room. They're playing with they've got their confidence back. I think Robbie's managed to instill that back in them, which has been pretty evident.
Craig Gordon with the ball in the Hearts penalty area to our left. Long he goes looking for Shankland. Very composed defending, calmly off the back of the head from Lipusek, and that takes the ball all the way back to Pavel Steinbors. Lipusek's an ever-present in Europe, hasn't missed a minute of the 7 matches ahead of playing against Hearts in the group stage. Forward it goes. Emerson here gets the break of the ball. Hearts have a player down in the middle. Emerson left side of the penalty area, tries to get the crossover, but Kingsley slide in and manages to block with the left thigh, and that gets the danger over for the meantime. But there is a player down. It's Michael Smith, who was coming back from an attacking position on the right side. He's holding his face on his back in front of us in our commentary position, and that's one that Robbie Nielsen won't want to see, especially with the comments he's made earlier in the week about the balance that he gives to the Hearts defence back on the right side of the defence, Alan.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. He's just down line in front of us. It seems to be a blow to the face.
He went up for a header, Alan, and he didn't see the opponent coming round from behind him, and I think he maybe just headed him in the back of the head. But it went down immediately, so I don't know if it's he's getting back up, so it can't be too serious.
I see they're now lacking one for this corner. They're an experienced one here, Michael Smith, has got to come off.
Simkovic gets ready to take. It will be from the bottom left corner as we look at it. Simkovic has put in a couple of tees and deliveries already in the first half. The 4th RFS corner of the game. It will be a left-footed outswinger from the captain of the Riga club. Smith wants to come on to help his team defend it, but the referee says no. Stay across the line of the 6-yard area to defend Illich. The rest of the defenders and midfielders from RFS behind the penalty spot. Simkovic waits, raises the right hand, asks the referee's permission. Now the left hand goes up, left-footed, outswinging cross. There's a head on it on the edge of the 6-yard area. It was Panic. Ginnelly does well to leap into there and head away. Smith isn't allowed to come back on. It's out to his side. Simkovic crosses and headed away by Shanklin that time.
He can't come on.
The front post.
He's not allowed on. The ball's in that area. The Hearts fans are. It's the right thing. The referee's doing the right thing.
Mares crosses. Illich misses it, and there's the header, and it goes wide of the far post. You can hear what the Hearts supporters think. And that looked to be Panic who managed to get his head on it. Illich missed it. And Panic is a tall figure himself at 6'4", and he just glances the header wide of the far post of Craig Gordon, and it remains with just under an hour played. Heart of Midlothian 2, RFS 1.
I know the Hearts fans are frustrated, but that's the rules. You know, you can't bring a player on where the ball's in the vicinity. When the player's on the ball, they want to bring Michael Smith on, who's right behind them, basically. You know, got to know the rules of the game.
Stefan Panic maybe could have done better with the header there in the edge of the 6-yard box, but maybe also a little unsighted from Andrei Illich, who was trying to get to it in front of him. Lipashek with the ball in there in the front of the RFS defence. Jata claims it. He'll move away, stands alone in the middle, looks left and right, tries to feed Emerson, tries to bring it down with the right foot, misses it, comes off the left foot of his and out for the Hearts throw. Just in a similar way to the first half went, with in terms of pace of the game. Hearts looked bright for the first few minutes of the second half, but with almost a quarter of the second period played, it's RFS who look to have the energy. Giannelli has it. Can he inject something in for the home side? Right wing across to Halliday in the centre circle on the RFS side of the pitch. Mackay has it left wing, final third, takes the ball on the right foot, crosses with the left. Jata steps into it and clears it behind for another Hearts corner. Their third of the second half so far. 2-1 it remains.
Yeah, and a good play by Giannelli. He managed to show his composure there and get the ball out to Mackay on the other side, and that was a good switch of play, a good play from Hearts in general.
And it's what you're asking your wide players to do, Craig. I'm saying to Mackay, take him on. You know, he wins his side a corner.
Corner to be taken from that opposite right side. Barry Mackay is the taker this time. Cochrane stands. He receives the short one. Left-footed cross. It's above Kingsley's head. Headed away by Panic. Keogh's there on the edge of the area. There's a little nudge in the back of Simkovic. The referee in a position to spot it. And RFS want to take the free kick quickly. They won't be allowed to. But you can just see there's a bit more of a belief in RFS in this half ever since that Friesenbeekler strike in the first half. Forward it goes from Jata. He receives it short from the free kick. Now Illich gets the header down. Emerson battling with Giannelli. Friesenbeekler has it now. Left side. Left-footed cross, drives it towards goal, it crashes off the crossbar, it breaks to Simkovic, drives it low, blocked by Keogh, and Giannelli just swipes it away. And again, Kevin Friesenbeekler sending the warning sign out to Heart of Midlothian of just what he can do when he strikes a ball. Craig Gordon beaten again, the crossbar still shaking. RFS have the throw, Mares takes it and in two minds with what he wants to do with the ball back. Out it goes for the Hearts throw. The supporters just in front of us get on their feet. They're trying to get their team going, but Craig Levine, RFS, so close to grabbing an equaliser.
Well, it just shows you how fragile that one-goal lead is, isn't it? I mean, that was even better, I think, than his first strike. The one was a brilliant goal in the first half, but in that situation, I mean, the ball's come back off the crossbar. Craig Gordon had absolutely no chance if it was on target.
That Friesenbeekler can't have strike a ball, eh?
Must have been hit it really hard in German or something.
Halliday does well to wrestle away and win the ball back in the midfield against Jata. It's on that far side again. Keogh now receives the pass from Barry Mackay. Keogh Mortzoglu now for Smith. He points to the right where he wants Giannelli to run. He's standing in field at the moment, so he'll have to go back to his defender. He plays a pass to Sibic and continues the conversation with Josh Giannelli.
He's right, sure. He's got nothing to the right-hand side of him, Michael Smith. He needs Giannelli out here.
There's hands waving everywhere from the Hearts players trying to push the team forward. Keogh has the ball, unchallenged, comes across the centre of the pitch. Smith has it on the edge of the final third, slips the pass through, intercepted by Peter Mares. Now Friesenbeekler will take it in the middle. Illich, the lone man forward for RFS, the ball's towards him. Craig Gordon will come out of the penalty area and strike it long. Lipashek heads it back towards Kingsley. He now heads up towards Mares. His header is forward and taken down in the chest by Keogh. Shanklin takes over, drags and spins the ball away. Friesenbeekler comes in to peel away. He just managed to be in the right spot. 28-year-old midfielder who was so close to getting the equaliser, and RFS look like they're about ready to make a change over on that far side. There's a player there with Victor Morris, the head coach, and one man who's in a better position to tell you about that substitution is Brian McLaughlin.
Well, it looks like there's going to be a couple of substitutions actually. It's going to be number 3, Arthur Zujins, is the player coming on, certainly for RFS. There's also going to be another substitution. Connor Smith is ready to come on for Hearts, and Jovan Vlalukin is coming on for RFS. So a few substitutions. The board's yet to go up. Don't know who'll be coming off, but yeah, 3 substitutions in total.
Brian, I think it might be Barry Mackay. I don't think he took that corner on the right hand side about 5 minutes ago and was really struggling to walk. It might not be, but
It's Grant. Yeah, I think it's going to be George Grant actually who's going to be making way for Hearts.
Hearts have the ball in the centre circle at the moment. The Forlow substitution that Brian just brought us will be made. Smith has it. He looks long with the right foot over the top of the RFS defence. Giannelli with the first touch in the left foot. Strikes it towards goal. Strong left-handed save by Stevers to keep it out, and he turns it behind for a corner. And you could just hear that's what the Hearts supporters want to see from George Giannelli. The ball over the top from Smith. A lovely first touch from the right foot. Set him away in the left foot. Steinbosch saved. 63 minutes on the clock. Hearts 2, RFS 1. And those changes will be made. And just as Brian said, George Grant will be the player going off for Connor Smith to come onto the pitch for Hearts. He's been used as a sub in his last couple of Premiership appearances against Aberdeen and Celtic. So the 20-year-old onto the field of play now. Now that double change for RFS 2. We'll just see whether they'll make the changes now. Will they defend the corner, or whether Victor Morris will like to wait? He chooses to wait. Shortly taken again. Mackay, Cochrane, and it goes. Yatta heads it away. 1-2 years in that near post once again. Smith recycles it to Halliday, left-footed. Fakes the clip ball and plays it out to the touchline. Giannelli has it again. Will he get the supporters off their seats once more? On the right foot. One-on-one with Jatta here on the right wing. Gets out the right foot, crosses high towards the back. Mackay's there, takes the touch, lays it off for Smith. He'll then touch it back for Kingsley. Lifts it over into the 6-yard area. Jatta half clears. Simkovic on the edge of the box can take it in the left foot and peel away to the left wing to clear upfield. And that clearance is well over the head of Illich. Hearts take possession through Cochrane. Halliday. Infield now for Keogh. His teammates want him to spread it over to that far left side. Kingsley receives the pass. Now it's Barry Mackay who'll just settle things down with the ball back in field for Kilmore-Zoglu once again.
We should do some justice to that strike by Giannelli, shouldn't we? I mean, it's a wonderful ball at the top. He's cut inside on his left foot and he's absolutely battered the ball, isn't he? With a great amount of swerve on it, and it's another great save by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, very good.
Great wing play.
And that's what you want him to do though, Craig, every time.
And it's that fleeting, those fleeting moments that get you frustrated, isn't it? Because if he did that all the time, I mean, he'd be the best winger in the league.
Wouldn't he be here?
It was just a way he took that touch that left the RFS left back Murray stranded and helpless as he tried to adjust his footing, but he could do nothing to defend it. And Steinbosch was called upon to make the save, and another good one at that. He's made a few against Hearts in the 2 games as the home side come down the left side, but Mackay was looking for the forward run of Kingsley, but Kingsley's pulled something in the back of his leg. He's just holding that as he tries to shake it off. He raises the right hand as he looks towards the technical area, and the groan from Alan Preston as Hearts' injury troubles look to continue.
They've really only got they've got Lewis Nielsen that can go in there.
Emerson dispossesses the defence. Illich turns, gets the ball into his left foot, and a great last-ditch challenge from Toby Sibic, because Andre Illich was just about to unleash the shot away there, the Serbian youth international striker, but he took a little too long, and that gave Sibic the opportunity to step in and take the ball away. Hearts have it. Halliday turns in field, passes to Cochrane, who's moved into that central defence position while Kingsley goes out to the left. Hearts hurrying for the changeover on the far side. We'll just allow Brian some time to have a look on what's going on over there. Cochrane has it, steps up towards the halfway line.
It can only be Nielsen. It's the only one it can be. When you look at the bench, they've got no one else.
Barry Mackay takes the pass in. Hearts do have a short bench this evening. Forward it goes. Smith picks it up just ahead of Shankland. Halliday now takes the pass over to the far side, and Kingsley, unable to do anything, is happy to put the ball into touch, and that will allow the substitution to be made. So we'll just pass you back over to Brian McLaughlin, who'll update us on what's about to happen.
Yeah, this isn't good news for Hearts at all. Stephen Kingsley immediately pulled up. He'd been urging a couple of his players actually to put the ball out. He's down at the moment. It's a hamstring. What now? Just how bad it will be, it's unsure. So Robbie Nielsen will be hoping it's nothing too serious anyway. given the fact that there's so many defenders out already, there's going to be a couple of substitutions for RFS. Zujins is coming on. The captain, Thomas Simkovic, is coming off. But yeah, that Lewis Nielsen substitute for Hearts, he's being made now.
Thanks very much, Brian. Tynecastle rise to the feet to applaud Stephen Kingsley, an important player. And as much as they're disappointed to see him withdrawn, only 67 minutes on the clock in the second half. We'll hope that he's going to be okay. It didn't look good as he was making that run forward, and Lewis Nielsen will come onto the pitch and had to do similar over in Riga as he came on for Craig Halkett, who had to go off after 20 minutes with a recurrence of the injury issue he had. And Kevin Friesenbeekler will return the ball back down to Craig Gordon to our left. Just a bit of news on those substitutions from RFS. Thomas Simkovic with the captain, 35-year-old, and as we heard before the game, coming to the end of their domestic season. Just lost out in a cup final. They've had to get used to playing a lot of matches in the monthly 30 days throughout the season so far, RFS, and things taking their toll a little bit in their squad at the moment too. Smith has the throw, he looks for Keogh. In steps Zuzins, the substitute, just on to win possession back for RFS. Alfaseni Jata has it. Now Panic. Wearing the armband is Jagodinskis in the right side of the central defence. Forward it goes for Vlalukin, he goes down. Another substitute just on.
That's a back four that I would imagine's never played together. You know, so there's a big onus on Sibic, who done very well, may I add, a few minutes back when he was one-on-one with the striker.
Lipashek has it left-footed, the ball down to this left wing. Emerson in the final third, can't get around Michael Smith, who stands strong and pokes the ball out with his left foot. Out it goes for the throw, 2-1. Emerson looking to take, but he'll leave it for Petr Mares. Emerson again is the only player close in white for the RFS left-back to throw to. Zuzins has it, back to Panic. Near side corner of the box, across it goes, the header from Ilic. It's right at Craig Gordon, but he had to get down low and strongly to stop that. And Andre Ilic, once again, Craig just showing his movement in the box, managed to get in front, just as Alan said. A different defensive position there with Nielsen coming on too, may cause a few problems. 2-1 it remains.
Yeah, Ilic has been fairly quiet in this match up to this point, but it was a great ball into the box from Panic. And I don't know how he managed to stoop down and manage to get a header on target, but I mean, it was close enough to Craig Gordon to be a comfortable save. But the last thing that Hearts need is Ilic starting to influence the match. Yeah,
20 minutes to go, Craig. You know, Hearts they've done better in the second half, but you can just see RFS creeping more and more into it. And that injury, you're taking the guy with the most composure in your back four out of it. You know, bringing on a young lad who's been excellent since he's come to Hearts, but he's still not at the level that Kingsley's at, you know. And naturally, he's right-sided as well.
No, he's certainly not at the same level as Kingsley, but I've been fairly impressed with his contribution up to this point.
Civic sends it forward from the free kick. Keogh has it. Smith clips it into the penalty box. Shanklin there, turns towards the byline, clips up, hangs it towards the back post. And there's Vlalukin, the substitute, to turn it behind for the corner. He receives the pat from his goalkeeper. Barry Mackay hanging around there, and he'll go over to take the corner. Another for Hearts. They've had plenty in the second half. We're about to hit the 71-minute mark. It remains 2-1.
And they take them all short when you see the size of RFS.
And there's only 4 in the penalty box at the moment. Giannelli, Shanklin, Nielsen and Sibic. Short it goes. Back now in field for Halliday. He turns. Tried to switch the side completely. Michael Smith on this near part of the pitch, right-footed, has to skip the challenge from Zuzins. Smith has it again, turns back. Giannelli's peeled away on the right wing, looks up, right-footed cross, takes a deflection at the back post, the header away, and Panic comes in to help it on too. Smith doesn't allow it to get past the midway point of the RFS half. Josh Giannelli steps in. Halliday, central position, will he line up the strike? Zuzin sliding, blocks any path forward. Mackay hangs it up, Shanklin there with the header off the post, not cleared. Lewis Nielsen over the crossbar. Maybe not the player you want that to fall to, but Lawrence Shanklin, we were just commenting on Illich's work on the other penalty area. Shanklin's movement, he just had to get on the back foot to go towards the back post. He managed to get something on it, off the post, and Nielsen with the follow-up, blazes over the crossbar. It remains 2-1 to Hearts. Over to Brian McLaughlin with news of another change.
Yeah, 18 minutes left. Jata has been replaced. Coming on, a very influential player, Tomislav Zaric, who can play midfield or defence, but I can see him slotting straight into that midfield area.
Thanks, Brian.
It looks like they're pushing 4 up now, RFS, in the second half.
So They've already had that well spoken about draw against Fiorentina earlier in the campaign, and draw at home to Istanbul Başakşehir as well. And they want to grab the equaliser with just under 20 minutes to play at Tynecastle. Friesenbeekler turns, Cochrane comes rushing at him and smashes the ball out of the pitch. RFS have the throw on the far side.
Yeah, and Shankland's effort at goal there was very, very close to giving Hearts what you consider to be the one that wins the match if they manage to get another goal, but just very unfortunate it came back off the post.
RFS with the diagonal, far side, clipped into the penalty box. Mackay's there to peel away from Valukin, and this clearance will come off of Zuzins, and the ball will go out for the throw on the top left side of the pitch, in front of that cluster of RFS supporters that's over there too. The Hearts supporters want to see that third goal just to make things a bit more comfortable. 73 minutes and 16 seconds on the clock. It remains 2-1. The first half goals, Lawrence Shankland after 3 minutes, Andy Halliday after 12 minutes. Then Kevin Friesenbeekler, who struck just 6 minutes before half-time. 2-1 it was at the break. Lipashek forward with the ball, headed away by Cochrane. Picked up by RFS on that far side. Panic wants the pass, he receives. Well, looking now, we'll go back to Jagodinskis. This near side now for Lipashek. He has it and he'll move forward. Goes long looking for Maris with the forward run. Smith heads it away only as far as Saric, but the header won by Andy Halliday. Now he's holding the back of his left leg. Connor Smith takes over the ball. He's trying to break forward and he's slowly getting back up from the ground as he tries to shake something off too. RFS have it, left wing, Emerson passes through. Zuzins the sub, tries to peel away. The ball will break the way of Shankland in the middle of the Hearts half. Is there a 3-on-3 for Hearts? Shankland out to the left side now for Mackay, will just slow things down and does well to skip not one but two challenges, but he receives a sore one from the second, and out comes the yellow card. Hearts will have the free kick on the halfway line.
I just see Sibic stretching off, Andy Halliday stretching off as well. Sibic especially, he's not played a lot of
He's been really good,
time.
Alan,
He's been excellent. He's been excellent. After, you know what, he's not been the fans' favourite for a while. You know, he was here on loan under Daniel Stendhal, played in a game against Rangers. He played centre of the park. He was brilliant actually in his first game, and then come back and he's not been,
hasn't quite hit the heights.
No, he's not, but he's got 2.5 years to go, Craig, so you know he's here for the long haul.
I
And
mean,
he's done well tonight. He's got all the attributes.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, he is quick. He's decent on the ball. He will attack the ball in there. He's aggressive in that regard. And sometimes there's a mistake waiting to happen. If he can eliminate that from his game, then he's got everything to be a really good centre back.
But the Hearts are desperate. You know, Rowell's out, Halkett out. Hopefully Halkett's not far away. Listening to him at the start of the programme, you know, he's back in training, so it looks like Kingsley's going to be out now. Hopefully not for too long. It's centre half after centre half.
Toby Sivic's one that's the first time this season he'll have featured in more than 3 matches in a row. So against Fiorentina away, starts against Aberdeen and Celtic in the league. He'll start this evening. Cochrane has the ball as the game's restarted on the far side. And as Nielsen has it, we'll go back to Gordon under pressure from Illich. Out to Civic now, he turns calmly and passes to Michael Smith. Still enough in the tank to run forward on that right side. Infield to Halliday under pressure, so he'll give the right back the ball. Once again, Janelli does well to keep it in play. Smith continued the run. He runs low into Tomislav Saric, the sub, the 32-year-old Croatian. Once of Parma, but didn't make a first-team appearance there on the Italian side. Now Mackay, Cochrane's bursting forward on the left side, but the ball cannons off the back of his heels, and there's absolutely no way he can take that under control. Panic, back to that right side. Valukin looks forward. Nielsen will be able to calmly take that one down. We'll go all the way back to Craig Gordon. Toby Sibic now, right side of the penalty area. Right-footed, goes forward looking for Shankland. Lipashek there first. RFS defender will get it up towards Emerson. But he and Smith, Michael Smith that is, are too far away to do anything about that one. Another ball on the pitch as Keogh looks to restart. Ball's off now and Keogh can continue forward in the middle of the Hearts half. He has a look forward, the play's quite spread. He goes back the way once again to Sibic. Janelli will come back towards the halfway line as Michael Smith takes over in possession. Across field to Lewis Nielsen. He has to wait on the ball, tries to get under control. Under pressure though from Friesenbeekler. Does well eventually to turn. 19-year-old. And now Connor Smith on that far left side for Hearts. Dribbling through the middle, clips it over for Shankland. Top side of the penalty box to our right. waits on the layoff. Barry Mackay's there, two waiting in the area, Cochrane and Ginnelly. Smith has it on the corner now. Mackay once again, space for Halliday in the central position, midway point of the RFS half. Back to the top side of the pitch now for Mackay. 77 minutes on the clock behind him. 2-1 it remains. Cochrane, back heel, laid off for Mackay. It's taken away. And Zuzans was there. The ball up towards Andre Ilic now. He's one-on-one with Sibic. And he's composed, strong as he wins the ball back. And the supporters in front of us rise to their feet and all around the stadium to applaud Toby Sibic. And that just goes back to the point that both you, Craig, and Alan, you were speaking about. It's had some tough times from the Hearts supporters recently, but they certainly appreciate the performance tonight.
He's been excellent, and that's the player that the Hearts fans thought they were signing on this performance.
Yeah, I think he's been excellent, Alan. I really do. And he's been there when he's been needed. He's been safe and secure, and that's for me that's really important, that your centre backs give you that feeling of comfort.
Lipishek with a long ball forward. Sibic again holds off Ilic, who makes the run. Sibic stands in his position and wins the header. Shankland has it now in the RFS half. 78.5 minutes played. 2-1 Hearts the scoreline. Shankland and Halliday with the goals in the first half. Friesenbeeker with the reply 6 minutes before half time. Keogh moving forward, driving from the left central side. Plays the pass into Shankland, left footed. Shots blocked. Breaks to the edge of the box. Connor Smith has it. Down he goes. No claims. And Maresh will clear the ball upfield. Ilic again the furthest forward, and he's on his own. It's becoming a tough shift for him up there, chasing everything. And you could just see him throw both arms out up to his shoulders in frustration. And Hearts again have it, but they still want this goal number 3 to make it comfortable. Barry Mackay will go on the drive to try and get that. Looking to cut a pass through. Jagodinskis, he prevents it from getting past the defence. It's now Saric on the left side for Ilic. Sibic across once again, gets his body in front and puts the ball out for a throw. 30 seconds to go until the 80th minute mark. It's Heart and Midlothian 2, RFS 1. Peter Mares receives the throw. Shankland running back to try and get there and help out defending. Ginnelly holds off Emerson. Michael Smith, that is, clears. Connor Smith picks up. Shankland will run towards the halfway line. And a combination of Mares and Panic dispossess Lawrence Shankland. Mares has the ball now. Infield for Tomislav Saric. Now Stefan Panic. Artur Zuzins, far right side now. Friesenbeeker has it, sends the crossover, only Ilic there, standing alone with Toby Sibic. The ball bounces down and past the touchline for another goal kick to Heart of Midlothian. There will be one more sub from RFS. So hand you back over to pitchside reporter Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, Dennis Rackles will be coming on for the last 10 minutes, and Hearts fans will be delighted to see the end of Kevin Friesenbeeker. No more shots from him tonight.
Thank you, Brian. When he was signed in Austria by Bayern Munich at the age of 16, Kevin Friesenbeeker reported €500,000. He's shown that kind of talent with a couple of strikes this evening. He got the RFS goal in the second half. He had Craig Gordon's crossbar shaking, but RFS still trail by 2-1 against Heart of Midlothian. Dennis Rackels, 10 goals in 18 matches in First League in Latvia this season. But it's Hearts on the attack. The ball breaks to Ginnelly right side, cuts it back for Connor Smith. Look to take the touch. The RFS defence don't know what they're doing, but somehow the ball will break into Steinbors, who can gather in the 6-yard area. But Connor Smith there should have just looked to hit it first time. He didn't do so. And a lot of the supporters in Tynecastle were holding their breath, expecting him to make the back of the net bulge as RFS let the ball go to play in the far side, and it remains with 81.5 minutes on the clock. Hearts 2, RFS 1.
Yeah, I mean, the ball was slightly behind him, but he's still got to try and dig a first-time strike out, because you don't get time to take 2 touches inside the 6-yard box. I mean, he just needed to try and hit it into the ground. I know it was behind him, but he needed to hit it into the ground, get it on target, and see if he could just push the ball past the goalkeeper.
Cochrane has a throw, far side, just on the edge of the defensive zone for Hearts. Shankland was looking for a decision, and the ball breaks for Keogh. He releases Ginnelly on this near right side. He has a look over the shoulder as he crosses a halfway line. Michael Smith's coming up on the overlap. Ginnelly in that deep position, turns onto the left, back onto the right. Michael Smith has it, whips the cross low. Shankland looking to get to the front post. It's cleared away by Panic. The ball will break to Ilic just on the edge of RFS own half. Emerson now receives the pass. Illich on this near left side, he'll go dribbling forward, but Toby Sibbick, the man there once again with a couple of deft touches with the right foot, and that's celebrated just like a goal here in Tynecastle. Michael Smith trying to release Shanklin behind the defence, but he can't do so. Steven Panic picks up possession, and Toby Sibbick once again the words on everyone's lips around Tynecastle. Andre Illich looks to go on the attack for RFS. Giannelli doing the defending. Illich steps in once again, he holds off Keogh. The ball goes out as Emerson can't get there. Andre Illich isn't happy with his attacking partner. He felt he could have kept that in play.
Keogh's toiling now. You can see Giannelli's down as well. Sibbick stretching off. Michael Smith stretching his hamstring. Andy Halliday's having a stretch. They're just running out of bodies. But this is a massive 7 minutes. And that whatever's added on, Stuart, financially for the club, yes, but also for the season ahead.
It's
this
for confidence, Alan. It's
totally.
Absolutely for confidence. And knowing that they can hold out against a good team, that's something that every team needs, don't they? They need to go in to dig in those last 10 minutes of a match and get a victory.
It's that region of £500,000 that Hearts can pick up with a victory in the group stage here. But also, they may not be able to qualify this time around, but they want the supporters these European nights back at Tynecastle as Zuzans comes forward, looks to slip the passing on the left side for Saric, and now RFS will have the corners. Giannelli's doing the work back, and he hooks the ball away for the corner. It will be taken the bottom left side. Just about 6 minutes to go, 2-1 Hearts at the Bains.
He's done brilliantly to get back, but he doesn't need to play the ball out for a corner. He could put it out for a throw-in, and he's invited the big players up into the box here.
Petter Mares out swinging corner, headed away at the front post by Lawrence Shanklin. He'll chase down his own clearance. It's back towards Mares again. Shanklin gets his body in front, and he tries to play the pass ahead to Barry Mackay, but out of play, goes for the throw.
They need to get out if they can as a back four. They need to be brave.
Deep like a quarterback, plays that pass over to the far side. It breaks. Offside. There's a shot from the RFS player. Looked to be Zuzans, but the flag is raised on the far side by the assistant, and that will take the pressure off, and there'll be a double change over in the technical area for Heart of Midlothian. So once again it's back over to Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, Robbie Nielsen very, very keen to try and ensure he's got as many players who are going to be fit for Sunday against Ross County. There's going to be a double change. There's going to be Alan Forrest and Ewan Henderson, the players who will be coming on. The referee just asking for, there's 2 balls on the pitch at the moment actually. The board just going to the 4th official at the moment. They're ready to make the change. Still unsure as to who it will be coming off, but Ewan Henderson and Alan Forrest, I can't see Barry Mackay continue. He was really struggling just a few moments ago.
Shanklin, Brian?
It could be any of around 5 of them, because some of them look really out on their feet, Alan.
Yeah, but you think Ewan Henderson would be the one. He's a willing runner. Hearts can then just play it to corners. That's not Shanklin's game. There's a foul he's won there.
Play continues, yeah. Craig Gordon released the ball upfield. Shanklin goes tumbling to the ground, and he'll win a free kick just inside that attacking third of the pitch. The referee will have a look, Bram van Driesche, to see if Hearts would like to make the changes now. Alex Cochrane standing over with the ball just to the left of central. Barry Mackay there too. Lawrence Shanklin goes over for the conversation. Can Hearts put the icing on the cake with just over 4 minutes to play here inside Tynecastle? It's 2-1, they lead at the moment.
It must be one of the guys, Stuart. It must be one of the guys. It must be Mackay that's going to come off.
Mackay's number went up on his red nose.
No. It's him who is standing over it. It's in the perfect position for the right footer from that left side of central. Shanklin gets ready to lay it off. He does so. Mackay's not happy with the ball. It's back in field for Shanklin. He unleashes a strike. Blocked by Vlukin. Mackay picks up the loose ball. Here's Halliday. Back into the centre circle for Michael Smith. Changes the angle to the far side for Cochrane. He goes around Raquel's. Deep cross. Shanklin with the touch. And RFS will manage to clear it away, and they'll look to move forward centrally. Emerson, he has 3 players on the right side. Raquel's is one of them. It goes to the right side now. Lipusek going up, playing as a striker. He did so late in the game over in Regan too. He is a big figure. The 6'6" man. Here's Panic with it just inside the Hearts half. Diagonal right-footed ball up towards Lipusek. Was there a push there? No, says the referee. Giannelli comes across the clear, and he's tugged on the shoulder by Arthur Zuzan, who's already been booked in the game. And the referee will turn and give his attention towards the technical area. So Hearts about to make those 2 changes, and going up on the board, just as Alan said, number 18 of Barry Mackay, and he'll go off to a standing applause from the Hearts supporters.
He's been okay, but I've seen him better. He's not hit the heights that he hit at the early part of the season when he was, for me, he should have been involved in the Scotland squad. His form certainly dipped since then, but there's no doubt in his ability. He's a ball carrier, he gets Hearts up the pitch. You know,
it's probably the most amount of games he's played in a short period of time in his career. I mean, he's looked just a little bit off it in recent games, but there's no doubt in his improvement in him in general. You know, he's been excellent actually for Hearts, but fresh legs on the field, and Hearts just need to see this out. It'll be a very, very big result for them if they can do so.
2 regulation minutes of the 90 remain. Gordon goes with the free kick with the left foot up towards Connor Smith. Emerson takes over on the near side touchline. Plays a pass right footed up towards Lipushek. He's up against Civic now. Halliday comes across to help out. Keogh wins the aerial battle again. Alan Forrest the substitute now for Shanklin, clips it forward. Henderson on the right side of the penalty area takes the ball down in the chest. The 22-year-old turning away in the wide position, tries to get it in field, exchanges with Shanklin, left-footed strike, but gets it all wrong.
Too excited,
goes out for the throw on the far side.
They've done brilliant.
He did really well actually.
Excellent.
It just feels on a minute and a half to play and maybe just a little bit too far for the RFS players. Before the game, a long season. They've got 3 matches of the league campaign still to go, and they know that there's an opportunity where they might miss out on European football next season. They have to pick up the points in those remaining games with 4 plays chasing them as Hearts look to come forward on the right side. The ball shown too much to Peter Marej, and RFS will have the throw. RFS have been on good form. They're staring at a defeat at the moment. Lipushek wins the header from the throw, and over it goes to the far side for Vlalukin. He's encouraged by his head coach Viktor Zmorosh on the far side. He's at the halfway line, right footed, clips it on towards Andriy Ilic. He holds off Lewis Nielsen in the meantime. Cochrane comes across to help out. Shanklin goes down, the referee says play can continue. It's forward for Ilic, he goes down in the edge of the box under the challenge from Nielsen. Right side of the box, ball played over Lipushek with the header, but he looked in 2 minds and he couldn't get it as a pass, and he couldn't get it on goal. It goes wide. Craig Gordon allows the ball to bounce away behind his net, and it remains Hearts 2, RFS 1. And we're about to have the 4th official signal the additional time with only 10 regulation seconds left to play. Is there time for an RFS equaliser? 4 minutes we're hearing, and about to be shown on the board, and there it is, all in red. For 4 minutes for Hearts to try and hold on and claim a home Europa Conference League victory in front of their own fans. One last burst of cheer from the Hearts supporters to try and carry them through. Gordon restarts with a goal kick. It's over the head of Henderson. Vlalukin will send it forward, right footed to the halfway line. Lipushek giving Keogh something to think about. The ball drops for Raquels on the right side. Vlalukin will now burst forward. Andy Halliday shoulder to shoulder. Vlalukin goes down, nothing given, and the touch there wasn't quite right for Ewan Henderson. Mares, there's the diagonal towards Lipushek. He's above Keogh, cleared away in the edge of the box. That was Andy Halliday. Shanklin does it. He's dropped deeper since Ewan Henderson came up to play that advanced attacking position. Now's Panic, tries to get it forward. Saric, Jagodinskis back for Saric. Nice little drag back here with the right foot. Mares is free to aim from the penalty area. Curls it in deep. Raquel's there, and the free kick's going to be awarded towards Peter Mares. Came off Michael Smith's hand as the signal from the referee. So time with only a minute and 20 of the 4 additional minutes played for RFS to try and load this penalty area and try and grab what would be a big equaliser for them. 2-1 it is.
I think they need to get out a bit, Craig. I think they're too deep. They can get out another 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, I think you have to stay beyond the penalty spot rather than goal side of the penalty spot. But again, it's about being brave in these situations.
Hearts with their defensive shake-up through the Stephen Kingsley injury will have to defend this. It's Mares on this near left side, ready to deliver, left-footed. About 8 in the box for RFS. It's high towards the back post, over the head of everyone. Tomislav Saric will look to chase. He keeps it in play. Cochrane meets him, and it goes, it's left. There's Lipushek, the defender. He can't turn. Is there a chance for Henderson to break? And he's cynically brought down there. And the referee shows the red card to the standing captain, Vitalis Jagodinskis. He is off. RFS reduced to 10 men as Hearts were looking to break after defending the corner. And I make it 2.5 minutes of the additional time played, and it remains Heart of Midlothian 2, 10-man RFS 1.
Yeah, it was a very cynical challenge, wasn't it? I mean, Henderson was away. And in those situations when you're going to do a professional foul, the idea is to hook your foot round about the foot that the player has off the ground. What he's done there is raked his studs down the back of Ewan Henderson's calves. That's why it's a red card.
Yeah, deserved red card. Spot on for the referee.
It reminds me of kind of similar decisions. We saw the one with John Lundstrom at Easter Road earlier in the season, and there was a lot of talk about that afterwards, but the difference there is explained to you by Craig Levein, and good to see that Henderson's back to his feet. He's applauded by the Hearts supporters as he skips over the halfway line, shaking that one off. And you would possibly think an end to the hopes of RFS looking for that equaliser. They haven't really threatened Craig Gordon too much since Fries and Breaker smashed the effort off the Hearts goalkeeper's crossbar. It'll be a difficult job now with what little time remains. I make only 30 seconds, though we have had that stoppage for the red card as Craig Gordon restarts up towards Lawrence Shankland. Out it goes for the RFS throw on the far side at the midway point of their half.
Don't let him. Henderson's got to stop it going back to the keeper.
There it goes, infield towards Tomislav Saric. Long ball forward looking for Ilic. Nobody wins it. Sibic gets a touch on it. Forrest comes in, but Emerson's there to try and claim. Lipashek tries to feed Raquel's on the right side. Down goes Alex Cochrane. Up goes the flag of the assistant on the far side touchline. Another Hearts free kick, and I now make that the 4 additional minutes played, and it's still Heart of Midlothian 2, RFS 1.
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, Alan, but they've managed the game well in the second half. We were concerned with the latter part of the first half, how they took the foot off the gas and they've allowed RFS back into the match. But I think they've managed the game particularly well in the second half.
Yeah, they have, and don't underestimate, Craig, as we've touched on, how big a result. In the grand scheme of things, you know, for Hearts this season, brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant result.
And that is the full-time whistle from referee Bram Brandriesche. A couple of the Hearts players fall to the ground. That's how much they put into this one at Tynecastle tonight as they look to sign off the Europa Conference League Group A, and have done so with a victory in front of their own fans. The players celebrated an early start with Lawrence Shankland's goal just after a few minutes, but it didn't all go Hearts' way. Kevin Friesenbeekler, the main threat for the Hearts team, trying to get RFS back into the game, but it was certainly another exciting one between these two teams, just as it was over in the Latvian capital of Riga last month. The Hearts started with a fast start, just as Robbie Nielsen wanted. Good work on the far side from Ginnelly with the crossover. Lawrence Shankland was on spot, fresh from his hat-trick on Saturday lunchtime, to poke the ball beyond Pavel Steinborst. And just under 10 minutes later, it was Andy Halliday driving down the left side. He struck a shot towards goal. It came off the legs of Jagodinskis, the RFS defender, and deflected into the back of the net. That gave Hearts a 2-goal lead, but later in the first half they seemed to take their foot off the gas a little bit, and that allowed Kevin Friesenbeekler to step up from the midway point of Hearts half, moving forward, and unleashed a wicked shot into the top right corner beyond Craig Gordon. 2-1 it was at half-time. We didn't have any goals in the second half, but Kevin Friesenbeekler did shake the crossbar of Craig Gordon with a wicked effort midway into that second half. The RFS players go over to applaud their supporters who've represented their country in fine fashion this evening. They enjoyed their trip to Tynecastle, but were unable to pick up a victory for them. The Hearts players go around the stands to applaud the Hearts supporters who raised the roof here at Tynecastle this evening, and what was a big victory for them financially in Group A of the Europa Conference League, but also a big win that could help spur them on for the rest of the season after their recent run of form. It finishes here at Tynecastle. Heart of Midlothian 2, RFS 1.
Hearts